আমরা
আচ্ছা আমি একটু বেরিয়ে গিয়ে আবার ঢুকছি।
ঠিক আছে,
ভিডিওটা দেখা যাচ্ছে না, বুঝতে পারছি।
ঠিক আছে, ঠিক আছে।
আচ্ছা আমি এখনো ভিডিওটা দেখা যাচ্ছে না। না কেন দেখা যাচ্ছে না ভিডিও?
স্যার বলছিলাম আমরা একবার কি ট্রাই করে দেখো ভিডিওটা অন করে। সকালে একই প্রবলেম হচ্ছে।
আমারটা কেন দেখা যাচ্ছে না? আমার ভিডিও তো অন রয়েছে। হ্যাঁ, এইবার দেখা যাচ্ছে।
হ্যাঁ স্যার, ঠিক আছে,
ঠিক আছে।
হ্যাঁ স্যার। স্যার আমরা শুরু করি আস্তে ধীরে। তো স্টুডেন্টস ওয়েলকাম।
হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে।
হ্যাঁ স্যার। আচ্ছা, একটু অ্যাডমিটটা করিয়ে দিই। Good evening, sir. Good evening, all the participants present, all the faculties of Sri Ramkrishna Institute of Science and Technology. On behalf of our college, I welcome sir for his lecture on innovation, a new mantra. Let me introduce Dr. Lahiri with you all. He is a professional chemical engineer with doctorate from NIT Durgapur and master degree from IIT Kharagpur. Currently working as associate professor in chemical engineering department. He has over 25 years of industrial experience in operation and technical service of leading petrochemical industries across the globe. His interests include simulation, process modeling, artificial intelligence in process industry, advanced process control, soft sensors, slurry flow modeling, etc. He has over 35 publications in various international journals. His publications include both in industry, application-oriented subjects and academic-oriented subjects. He also authored 2 books. Sir, I again welcome you for your lecture on innovation, a new mantra. Our students are eagerly waiting for your session, and it will be giving us a very nice and elaborative knowledge and creating a mindset for our youth in the path of innovation. Sir, I request you and hand over the platform to you.
Okay. Thank you very much. I am really feel honored that Obinandan has called me for this lecture. Really, I'm very happy to give this type of lecture. As you know, as a background, I live in Kolkata only, very near to your college. I live in Narendra, just beside the Narendra Ramkrishna mission. Okay, so But I passed out from Jadavpur University, then IIT Kharagpur, then NIT Durgapur, and then I have worked almost 80% of the world. Uh, I worked in America, I worked in Europe, Asia, and obviously in India, Thailand. Many countries I have worked. I worked with Germans, Belgium, uh, many countries, Russians, Americans, and that's why I'm fortunate enough that I have seen that how the students and the professional work in those countries all over world, and also I have seen that what is the difference between their country and our country. Okay, so today I am going to give you something which you can take it, just take the concept, and this will give you a boost. So what you need to understand, that world today is completely different than what it is 10 years ago, okay, or say even 2 years ago, before COVID. World is today completely different, and how it will impact the student, that I will discuss today's session. So let me give me 1 minute time. I want to share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so today the subject is innovation, the new mantra. As I told you, that world has changed, and what is fascinating is the speed of change. World is changing very fast, very fast. Believe me, when I was young, I may be couple of years older than you, but when I was young and when you are young, I was at your age, it was a completely different world. Completely different world. And believe me, when you will be my age, you will see again a completely different world. So world is changing very fast. Technological innovation completely change our life. Like when I was passed out at that time, we don't have internet. Internet was there, but we don't have access. Even I passed out from IIT Kharagpur, internet was at that time just coming out in the institute. Internet. And today, if there is no Wi-Fi for half an hour, you cannot survive. It is just like oxygen. If your mobile data finished, you cannot survive. It looks like that. What I will do if internet is not there? So it is believed that world has something 5 billion years. This Earth age is 5 billion years, and human age is 5 million years. We are very latest species in Earth, and this is the time. Believe me, this is the time the human is at their most comfortable position. Hello, can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Sir, আপনার কথা কেটে কেটে
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Students, everyone, don't.
Yes, sir, you are
please
audible.
Don't reply.
Yeah.
Yes.
Others, please mute the mic. I will take the question at the end of the presentation. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let me go through the presentation first. Okay. So that is the speed of change. You need to understand why I am putting the first slide as speed of change. These companies and business has completely changed, and the way of doing business also changed completely. earlier, say 20 years old company, those are called traditional company, and now new generation companies are coming. So traditional companies, as of now, traditional companies means, say for a Maruti car company, okay, then say a chemical company like Reliance. Okay, these are traditional companies. Say NTPC power plant companies. These are traditional companies. Whereas new generation companies are Zomato. Have you heard about Zomato? Anybody heard about Zomato? What is its business? Anybody heard? Zomato?
Zomato little about that to
Yeah,
supply food items from restaurants, various restaurants.
yeah, right. So Zomato, we may be not thinking that this is not a very common idea. This is not some rocket science idea or rocket science technology, but this is a food delivery. So bringing the food from restaurant to your home. And a company like Zomato has IPO last month in Bombay Stock Exchange with $1 billion. Okay, so such a small idea, innovative idea, very innovative, very new idea, but such a small idea, such a small company generating $1 billion IPO in Bombay Stock Exchange. Whereas, this NTPC, which generate power for whole India, they are not near to 1 billion, very, very far away from 1 billion. So basically, what I mean to say that traditional companies nowadays, the old companies nowadays are struggling to sustain their business, whereas this new innovation-based business has ruled the world. Like Facebook. Facebook is second largest, third largest company in the world. Apple, who produces iPhone, only they produce only iPhone, iPad, iPod, these three products, and a laptop. Okay, only with this, they are the first 1 trillion company in US. The first, the Apple. So these are new generation companies. Okay, so nowadays, what happened that old generation companies are slowly dying down, and new generations companies are coming up. Okay, actually, why they generate so much of money? Because the taste and buying patterns completely changed by millennials. Millennials is like you, who born after year 2000, 2000. After year 2000, who born are called millennials. So the buying pattern is completely changed. Let me give you an example. When I was say 20 years age, 21 years age, I got the first job, and then I buy a Philips audio audio system, Philips audio system, not Philips, Sony audio system, and I was thinking at that time it cost something 25,000 rupees at that time, so it was very costly, and I was thinking that okay, 25,000 rupees I will spend now, and rest of the life I will listen songs and all those things, and I will enjoy. Next 25 years I will enjoy. I don't have to bother about buying anything. So that was my buying pattern. Okay. Similarly, if you see your father, you will find that he wear a Bata shoe, and it lasts for 10 years. Last 10 years, he was wearing the same shoe. But see to yourself, okay? See, now people, what happened, when I buy that, it was a CD player, CD and DVD player, okay, that music system. After some days I buy, then I find that the CD itself is very costly. Okay, to listen a song, you need to buy the CD. CD cell, and then MP3 came. Okay, but my system is my system cannot run MP3. Okay, so my system becomes totally obsolete. Okay, so everywhere MP3 is there, in pen drive MP3 is there, and then comes smartphone. So all the songs are in YouTube. Why should we buy at all? Okay, so over the years, I was thinking that I will spend 25 years with this music system, but music system eventually stopped. Okay, now this is the change in pattern, buying pattern, and in the world, earlier people buy a watch, wristwatch, and they wear it for 20-25 years. Nowadays, wristwatch price is rupees 100. Okay, rupees 100, you can find a wristwatch. You wear it for 1 year, 2 years, then it will make it defective, or you throw it out, you buy another one. Okay, so this is the pattern change. So now the businesses, the companies who don't understand, who don't respond this changing need of millennials, become obsolete and perish. Okay, they just stop. Okay, and new companies are coming up with new idea and innovation. Okay, so new mantra of today's business is innovate and impact. So creating value through innovation is the new ingredients of success. Okay, new idea and innovations are the new raw materials for next gen industries. So earlier raw materials are chemicals, earlier raw materials are iron, steel. All these are raw materials in traditional companies, but nowadays this is a new generation industries are coming out. So raw materials are ideas, new idea. Let me give you one example. Facebook is a very new idea. Today I find that Facebook has changed its name to Meta. Okay, you will find maybe within 1-2 hours you will find that Facebook has changed its name to Meta, because they were jumping to a new technology, new 2D 3D technology. Okay, they were jumping, they were changing Facebook. Okay, so today's company run on the raw material called idea. Okay, so if you have a new idea, you can start a company. And human intelligence, a new asset for the companies. No longer machine buildings are the asset to the company. Earlier, if I tell you a company, you will think that, okay, there will be a chimney, there will be a shed, there will be machine inside the company. Those are earlier generation company. New generation company don't have all those things. New generation companies are a small hall room where 5 or 6 employees are sitting, and they are with their intelligence, actually they run the company. Okay, so their intelligence, human intelligence, are the new assets for the company. So innovation and new idea is the raw material, and human intelligence is the new asset for next generation company. So to come up with this, the basic question that what do you mean by innovation? Innovation means generating a feasible new idea to solve a problem. Okay, if you generate a new idea to solve a problem, that is called innovation. Or you can not a problem, but you can create value to the society. Like Facebook has solved a problem that it is very difficult to find your old friends, old relatives. Then when Facebook comes, now I have find all my school friends, they were lost at that time. But when Facebook came, I have find out all my school friends, old school friends in Facebook, and now we are connecting. So they create value to the society by connecting, by making a social media. Okay, now innovation does not mean that some rocket science technology you have to find out some rocket science technology. No, innovation means creating value and making impact. Let me give you one simple example. There is a yellow color page called Stick It. A small yellow color page with a gum, with some adhesive. at the top, you all see it. There are small yellow color page. We put some points and then we stick it to our computer, we stick it to our wall, we stick it to our just as a reminder. Okay, so that is considered that has come something 10-15 years ago, and that was that small yellow color page with the adhesive at the top is considered the best innovation in US. Okay, best innovation in US. So innovation does not mean that you have to find a very big technology, something new. Such a small thing can make a innovation. Now there are two ways nowadays people are doing innovation. Okay, companies are doing innovation. The first way is research. Okay, so this way is executed by European and American companies. These are followed by US and American companies. So what they do, they have big R&D laboratory in their universities and also in their companies. R&D laboratory, structured R&D laboratory, where many people work. They have all the R&D facilities available, research facilities available, and then they innovate something. Okay. But the problem of this, lastly, the problem of this is the product they innovate are very costly, Like iPhone, they innovated iPhone. It is very costly, 75,000 rupees. Only rich people in America and Europe can afford an iPhone. Say a rickshawala or a vegetable vendor cannot afford an iPhone. You and me also cannot afford an iPhone. So in India, China, where most of the world's people in the world, 7 billion people are there. Out of that, 3 billion people are living in India and China. So almost half people living in India and China. You all know that, and we are a poor country, so we cannot afford the innovation done by the structured research and development in US and Europe. Okay, so in India and China, there is India, China, Brazil, and Africa. These 4 countries, they are poor countries, but they have a lot of people. They have a lot of demand. So they have second way of research that is called scarcity. Scarcity means we don't have anything. Okay, so we find frugal or Jugaad innovation. Jugaad, we always tell Jugaad innovation. So this Jugaad innovation coming out of scarcity. And what actually the driving force? Driving force is the limitation of resource. We have so much problems, but we don't have those structured laboratories or time or people or money. We don't have all those monies. So we have a limitation of resource. Okay, so those people, people in India, China, Brazil, they have find a new way to do innovation, and that is called frugal or Jugaad innovation. Jugaad means I will make some makeshift arrangement to solve a problem, and I will show you how they solve the problem. And this is now the trend in the world, that you make some Jugaad type of arrangement so that you solve the problem. At the end of the day, innovation means to solve the problem. Okay, so what is the advantage? Advantage is it is very cheap technology and can be afforded by poor people around the world. Okay, so as I told you, there are 2 approaches. One is structured R&D, another is Jugaad innovation. Structured R&D approach, both has their own way. Structured R&D approach is they produce very costly product, very high quality costly product, whereas Jugaad innovation, they produce very cheap product which can be afforded by the poor people around the world. So now, what are the unique features of these Indian innovators? okay, Indian innovators or the Jugaad innovators is they have four feature. One is frugal. Frugal means it is not structured. They will solve the problem just by a creative thinking. Then it is very low cost. They are very flexible and they are inclusive. So what does it mean? Flexible means they will not give you a solution which is very rigid. They can change the solution as per your demand. And inclusive means they will produce such a low cost solution that many people can use it. Let me give you some of the example. Okay, so basically the Jugaad innovation is the art of overcoming harsh constraint by improvising an effective solution using limited resource. So this is called Jugaad innovation. Let me open a YouTube video. Just tell me whether you are able to see the YouTube video or not. I'm opening a YouTube video. Can you see it and listen it? Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just see the some Jugaad innovation.
Yes, sir.
Just 1-2 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. See, this is a brick making machine. This is a air conditioner, air cooler. See the mirror. See the shoe, chappal, made of wire. See the back side of the auto. It looks like a car. See the kettle for tea serving. These are all self-explanatory. See, use of waste plastic bottle. This is Monday morning alarm. This tractor. This is swing. This is reuse of Coke bottle. And this is Dawawala of Mumbai. This is a car. These are tin boxes. This skating. This is not to use the tea by other person. This chappal actually. This reuse of old cloth. This use of plastic bottle. This is a solar rickshaw run by solar. Okay, I will stop it. Stop it here. I will go back to my presentation again. I am back to my presentation. Can you see my presentation back?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So these are, these are also called innovation. These are new new way to use or solve some problem, because we are very poor country. We cannot afford the big thing developed by Western countries like US and Europe. Okay, so 50% of Indians are don't have bank account. Actually, they don't have electricity also. Okay, 50% of India. As of now, people claim that we have 100% electricity, but the reality is we don't have 50%. And then we have limited access to healthcare and education. Okay, so basically we are a very poor country. And then I will show you some of the best Jugaad innovation done by Indian innovators. The left hand side, this is a fridge, very high end fridge. It cost almost 5 lakh rupees. This is a fridge, and this fridge, it can take. It is connected with the internet. Refrigerator. This is a refrigerator. It is connected with internet. So you just tell this fridge that what you want to have in your dinner and lunch, and then this refrigerator will send a message to the nearby grocery shop, and that grocery shop will put those vegetables and fruit inside the fridge. And this very costly fridge developed by US and Europe people. Whereas this is another fridge developed by Mansukh Prajapati. There is one person in Gujarat. He is an illiterate person. He developed a fridge by clay and water. Okay, and it is available in mitticool.in. He developed a fridge which does not require electricity. To cool, and it is same just like our normal refrigerator, but it runs on evaporating the water. No electric connection, no electricity. So because it and it is as of now, it's cost only 3,000 rupees. Okay, only 3,000 rupees. So it is affordable to lot of poor people in villages. So this is I will tell, this is called a innovation. Both are innovation, but this is this is the Jugaad innovation, and this is real innovation which can be afforded by as I told you, 50% people in the world lives in India and China. So there is a huge market. So 50% people are poor and they can afford these fridge. Another, this is a this is a that small baby incubator. Okay, so when in hospital, when baby come prematurely, so they have to put inside this incubator. This was researched by normal incubator available in big companies, and this cost almost 1 lakh rupees, this incubator. So you put the baby here, it has its own light and warming system. Whereas, it is a 1 lakh rupees. You cannot afford in our country. We cannot afford to put our baby. Most of the people cannot afford. So they have come up with this this incubator, baby incubator. This is just a wrap around the baby, and it has its own warming system. So it has its heater or coils inside it. It will do the exactly same job, but it cost is 1,000 rupees. This is 1 lakh rupees. Okay, so that is called innovation. Somebody make it in India, and now this is exported to US. Okay, because this is a very low costly. Okay, so this is another. Again another. This is a smokeless, LPG cooking ware, where you have 3 ovens and LPG cylinder is in this oven. Okay, now this LPG is so highly priced, most of the people in our country cannot afford this. So they have developed a new oven. This is the smokeless oven called Urja. Okay, so how it runs, most of the country in the village, people just burn coal, and there are smokes, and those smokes not only have a pollution, it also affect the mothers who actually utilizing this. So they come up with, you know, these are the biodegradable small wooden sticks or made from biodegradable material. So you just put this material here, this will generate same heat, smokeless, but it will not run in LPG gas. So this is another innovation, and its cost is only 1,000 rupees. Okay, its cost is only 1,000 rupees, so it is people can afford, and fuel cost is nil, because fuel cost is just you give some some plant and some biodegradable material. So basically, let me tell you this one published in 2005. So this is the consumers in India. You know, this is India consumers. So there are very small type of consumers they are very rich, and they are 60 lakh. They are only 60 lakh Indians are very rich. Okay, then there is 1 crore, 15 crore people are there. 15 crore people are there who are the middle class. They are the consuming class. So these two are in our country. These two, we can say, they have a buying power. So they actually driving the market, but they are very small portion of the total population. This is the total population. Now, much bigger population is 27 crore 50 lakh people. We have 130 crore, right? 27 crore 50 lakh people are the climbers. Climbers means they also have a buying power, and they are coming to middle class. They are not middle class, they are lower middle class. They don't have so much of buying power, but so 27. And then these are the aspirants, these are poor people. They are also 27.5 crore in India. And these are destitute. Destitute means absolutely poor people. They don't have any buying power. They are struggling with getting a 2 meal. So they are 21 crore. Okay, so this is the consumers, in India. And believe me, let me show you the world consumer. India, it is similar like India. Okay, so in world, actually there is a 6.5 billion people in world. Nowadays 7 billion. So this is 6.5. So 4 billion people are in the base whose actual income is less than $9. $9 means 630 rupees. Okay, per day. So 4 billion people has less than $9. Then 9 to 55 US, we have 2 billion people, and there are 0.5 billion people who are really rich, who has more than 55 US dollar per day income. Okay, so as you see that all the companies like Apple, Samsung, Maruti, any company you take, all the companies actually trying to innovate or trying to produce a product for these two people, for these two. One is absolutely rich people, another is middle class people. Nobody, but actually 4 billion people are at the bottom. Nobody actually, because they don't have any purchasing power, these 4 billion people. So no company want to make any innovative product for these 4 billion people. Okay, so that's you have to understand that all the companies innovate and make a product to do a business, to make profit, and this profit is only for up to this only these top two category, and nobody is looking for these 4 billion people. So you and I are there who has to innovate for these 4 billion people, because they are struggling with basic needs of life. Okay, they were struggling with that. Okay, so this is this you understand, right? So this is, as I told you, this Mansukh Bhai and the Mitti-Cool fridge. You can type Mitti-Cool in Google, you will find this fridge is available now online. So this fridge does not require electricity to run. Amazing, right? And he is not class 10 pass. And we all are engineers or going to be engineers, and we cannot innovate this. Okay. There is another guy. This is called Dr. Mohs Mobile Diabetic Clinic. You know, Dr. Mohan, he was in, he's a doctor in Chennai, in Madras. Okay, he's a doctor in Madras. So he is actually a diabetic doctor, but he find that people cannot, say, a lot of patients, his patients are in village. They cannot come to Chennai for a checkup. So he developed a mobile van, you know, with all these facility. This is retinotherapy facility, all the diabetic facility. Instead of patient come to him, and patient cannot come, they are not rich. So this mobile clinic equipped with all the diabetic medical equipment that goes to the villages, okay, and giving the healthcare system. So that is innovation, okay. Another guy, this is also, you can take this name and you can, if you want to learn more, you can write it in Google and you will find it. I have find it from Google only. Okay, so Harish Hande, he opened up a Selco company. Okay, so what is this company? You know, it is a solar light. This is also in South India, solar light. So he find out that there are small shopkeepers. They actually burn kerosene, you know, in bazaar. In bazaar, they in their shop they burn kerosene to light up in night. So instead of that, he initially generated a solar lamp which you just charge in the day, and then you give it to them in the night. And so there are two-way benefit. One is they will need less kerosene, and there will be less pollution. Okay, but the problem he faced that this solar light is very costly, they cannot afford. So what he has done, he has changed his business pattern, business plan. Okay, what he has done, so initially he was requested all of them to buy this solar panel, but this solar light is 1,000 rupees and like this, and this kerosene lamp is 10 rupees. 10 rupees kerosene is used in the lamp every day. Okay, only 10 rupees. So nobody is going to buy because they cannot afford. So what he do? He changed his business plan. He charge. You need not to buy that lamp. You just charge. He charged the lamp in his office, and then he give it he give it as a rent to the shopkeepers, and he take 10 rupees from them. Okay, that means instead of kerosene, spending the money on kerosene, 10 rupees, they give him as a rent, and then next day he bring it from them, and then again charge it. So this is called Selco. You know, this all, you know, Tata and the Nano. You know, now big companies are also coming in this Jugaad innovation. So Tata has come up that okay, Indians have a dream to have a car, but they cannot afford. Not all the Indians afford. So he come up with this idea that 1 lakh rupees car within 1 lakh rupees. So that is Tata. Tata also has come up now with a such water filter. You know, in our country we don't have good drinking water. We don't have good quality of drinking water. So he has come up with something 1,000 rupees or 500 rupees water filter with a new technology. This is a startup by Tata himself. Okay, so this is a water filter, very low cost water filter. And they has come up with this. This is also a Jugaad innovation. You know, Akash tablet, this $35 tablet from in India. This was launched by earlier government, like Monomon government. So $35 you will have a tablet, and this tablet, the purpose of this tablet was this was given to the students in village school, because in the village school most of the time teachers are not available. They are not coming. Teachers, they are available, but they are not coming into the class. So at that time, what student will do? So then they have this $35 Akash tablet where all the courses, video courses are loaded, preloaded. So student, if teachers don't come, student can learn from those courses. Okay. Nowadays, you know, these multinational companies also looking for this Jugaad innovation. Why I am telling that, I will tell you at the end, that why I am showing all those things to you. So GE, this is one multinational company. So they has come up with a portable ECG machine. Okay, so as of now, we have ECG machine in the hospital. So if you go to hospital, then there is a big machine, and then people will, doctors will come, nurse will come, and he will take the ECG. But this guy has find this is also cost 1,500 rupees. Portable ECG machine with a printer. Okay, so this is, you just put it into your bag and doctors can take it to the patient. It is a portable. Okay, so it was launched in India first, then launched in China. In India, it is a very successful. Indian rural market, it is very successful. Then it is launched in China, and now in the US after having got FDA approval. Okay, so this is G. Nokia 1100. You know, Nokia, when they this is a very simple phone. This is not a smartphone. This is a very simple phone, low cost phone. Okay, this is 300 rupees phone. So Nokia has find out that when the people buy this phone, the first thing what they do, they actually put this phone inside the plastic wrapper. Okay, so that dust don't damage the phone. Okay, and also they use the phone in night, just like a torch in village. In night, just like a torch. So they find that, okay, these are the customer need. You know, customer need a dust-proof wrapper and use as a knife. So they change their innovation. They put a dust-proof keypad. So now you don't have to wrap. It is already dust-proof. Okay, and they put a built-in flashlight. So there will be a flashlight here, so you can use as a torchlight. So once they make it, immediately in 2003, immediately 200 million phone of this phone got sold, and this is 300 rupees, 400 rupees phone. It is not a smartphone. Okay, then this is another area. I urge all the students to take note of this particular invention. This is now very important now. This is older invention, I'm telling you. Okay, so this is the invention done by a company called SweepSense. Okay, so what they find out, this is a US company. Okay, so what they find out, that in US hospital, 2 million people actually get infected from the hospital. So in hospital there are many types of patients are there. So 2 million people get infected from the hospital. So this is the data, and 100,000 deaths each year due to this infection from the hospital. So this was the problem, and then they want to solve this problem. This is a startup done by this young guy. Okay, he was a student at that time. So he visited the hospital and he find that why there is an infection. Okay, whether it is from patient to patient or what is the cause of the infection. Then he find out actually infection happens not from patient to patient. It is happen from doctors to patient. First patient to doctor, and then doctor to patient, and patient to nurse, and then nurse to patient. So basically doctors and nurses are the responsible, because when they go to the patient, after they visit a patient, they should wash their hand. Just like COVID, we wash our hand. They should wash, but most of the time they are so busy that they cannot wash their hand. So then they have come up with a small innovation, very small innovation. So doctors and nurse can put it into their pant pocket. They can hang it from pant pocket, and if you just press it, it will give you 2 drops of sanitizer. Okay, so you just what you have to do, you just put your hand in the pant pocket, and this machine will give you 2 drop or 3 drop of hand sanitizer, and you clean. So you don't have to go to the tap water. If you don't have time, use this machine. So after this machine was come up, this deaths due to infection has come down, and $2 to $4 billion he has find out. Okay, this is another small invention is coming up now in UK. This is also a college student. He find a computer. This is actually a computer, very low cost computer made by Raspberry Pi. Okay, and this is a $22 computer. Okay, $1 you can say 100 rupees, say. So 1,200 $22 means 2,200 rupees computer for school children. For school children, the problem in our country, we have a computer cost laptop cost 35,000, 40,000, loaded with so much of RAM and GB. This is not required for the school children. Nowadays, school children also need computer. Okay, so he has come up with this. So this is one innovation. Okay, then another innovation, this is off-grid energy solution. So this is again, this is a solar flashlight. You can put it in sun in daytime, and then at night time you can use it. So this was huge success in Africa. In Nigeria, there are people don't have electricity, they cannot afford. So they just charge it in daytime and use it in night time. So this is also a huge innovation, finding a huge money. Then this is nowadays everywhere available, but it was first developed by Barclays Pingit. Okay, so they develop a app, money transfer app. So from one mobile to another mobile, you can transfer the money. Okay, as soon as they open up this app, there are 500,000 download in 3 months after launch. So from one mobile to another mobile. Nowadays it is very common, but it was earlier when this app has come. Now Google Pay is there, everything is there. But earlier, the first time it was being by Barclays Pingit. Okay, so what is for a student? How you should prepare for this type of innovative world. Okay, so let me give it a clear view to all young students. You have 3 options in front of you. 3 options. So option 1, get a college degree. You already are in college, so you will get a degree, get a job, try for a job, lead a risk-free mediocre life. Okay, rest of the life you are bound from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Okay, in the company, in your job. Okay, rest of the life. And yes, at the end of the day you will get the salary. At the end of the month you will get the salary, and but you don't have any excitement in your life. Your life will just passed away. One fine morning you will find that okay, you got retired. Okay, and your life passed away without doing anything great. Okay, human life, you and me are here for some purpose, to have impact. So that is option 2. Innovate something. Innovation is nobody's monopoly. You and me can innovate. Okay, that Deshmukh, as I show you that Prajapati, he was the class 10. He is class 6 pass, even not class 10 pass. He developed that refrigerator Why not you and me who are in engineering college can develop much efficient product than that refrigerator? Okay, if we think in that direction, we will be able to do. But we are not trained. We are always trained to get a job, pass it, get some CGPA, get some grade in the college, and pass it and get a job and then lead a life. So we are not trained to innovate. But this is another thing, that innovate something, take risks, become entrepreneur, and make an impact on society. What Facebook has done, what Swiggy. Swiggy is a IIT Kharagpur student, BTech student, IIT Kharagpur student founder, and then Zomato has done, Ola, Uber has done. These are not very big, hi-fi idea, but unique idea which solves some problem. And then now they were $1 billion they get in their pocket. They are very rich. Okay, for that idea. And then there is another option. This is a very good option. Let me tell you this option. That take a job. There is nothing wrong to take a job, but parallelly work in your innovation. Okay, find out some innovation where you have a strength, where you have a passion, and then work on both. Okay, job and this. Okay, and maybe you will succeed one day in innovation, or maybe you will fail. Your company will not make profit. So if you fail, okay, not a big deal. You have a job, concentrate on your job. But if you succeed, then make it big, leave the job, become entrepreneur eventually. So these are the option three option you have. You can choose as your own way. Okay, so as a student, where to start? This is always my students always ask me, sir, how to start? I am a very small person. How can I start? So basically, to put it down, you need three things to open a startup company or do an innovation. You need three things. One is you need an idea, one path-breaking idea. See, and then second, you need an entrepreneur mindset. Mindset is also needed. If you have a good idea but don't have a good mindset, you will be not able to succeed. And then you need money to start a business. Okay, so these three things you need to start a business, to start a new idea. So I will go one by one, all these three things. Okay, I will give you a glimpse. Anytime you need any help on these three things, you can contact me. I will give you my number. You can contact me. Okay, so first thing is you need to have a good idea. So how to generate that good idea? How to find that good idea? Whether I need to generate, whether I need to innovate that good idea, or somebody else can innovate and I can make a company on that. Okay, so to generate the good idea, look for problems. Look for problems that, we are in a country where everywhere is a problem. Everywhere. So look for a big problem, $1 billion problem, which problem also has a cost tag. Okay, price tag. That means if you solve that problem, you can then it should be very big problem. Okay, so the size of the problem will determine the size of your success. Okay, so look for a problem. I will give you some of the problems. Okay, say now we have a COVID-19. Look for changing demands after COVID-19. Okay, this COVID has disrupted the world business. Okay, many things has got changed. Okay, so can anybody of you can tell me one or two things which you feel has changed after COVID? Can anybody give me some feedback that you think that after COVID something is changed? What is that in business?
Sir, business
Sir,
से
educational business.
Huh?
Sir, educational business.
Very good, very good, very good.
That digitization.
Yes. The education business has completely changed. you know, and I will come back to this. Okay, so think of it. If you want to open a startup company, say now, okay, think that COVID has make many business to stop, like restaurant business has stopped. Okay, cinema business, cinema hall business has stopped, has come to a halt. Okay, whereas Netflix has come up. Okay, our offline teaching in colleges has stopped, whereas Zoom, Microsoft Team, okay, has come up. Today I am giving an online presentation to all of you. 3 years before, this is not even facilities there, but 3 years before, this is not even somebody think of that I can give a presentation to some other college student through online mode. Okay, but today it is a very much reality. Okay, so this is another area. Think of it. You have to think that what actually COVID has let me tell you, you know, every corner, I go to Kolkata in Durga Puja, every gully has a mask shop. Mask and hand sanitizer. You know, people has made, they changed their business. They made mask, they made hand sanitizer. You don't know what is in this hand sanitizer. Okay, but there is some liquid. Okay, hand sanitizer. So every corner, COVID has opened up these two business. Okay, COVID has opened up many more things. I will tell you later. Okay, so these are the things you have to look, that what COVID has opened up new challenges, and you should make your startup on that area. Okay, another area is, as I told you, look for cheap alternative of big machines, especially medical equipment. Okay, suppose as I told you that there is a refrigerator and there is a low cost refrigerator. There is a baby incubator and there is a low cost baby incubator. So find out what are those machines, not only in medical system, what are those machines which are very high cost and cannot be afforded by Indian people. Like let me give you an example. You know, last 2 years, this is very unfortunate, but I have to tell you, last 2 years, you people has laptop, you people have phone, so you manage to sustain the your course or study. But in rural India, they don't have laptop or phone. Okay, so all the school got stopped. Okay, so 2 years we don't have any education in the school, and it has a $40 billion loss in India. $40 billion loss in India, and this loss will be felt after 20 years. Okay, when this child will grow up, this loss will be felt. Okay, this is a measurement by World Bank. Okay, so find out some alternative, some technology which you can give to rural India students, small children, where in case of COVID, they can sustain their study. It is very important. You know, find out. You and me can find out. Government cannot find out. We always tell, okay, this is a very big thing. Government has to find out. No. Government cannot find out. Okay, we have to find out. And you know, and also you look for competition. When you generate an idea, find out who are your competitors. If there is a big company is your competitor, that means you cannot compete with them. So find out some area. You need not to be best, you have to be fast. This is told by Jack Ma of Alibaba, that Chinese Amazon company. Okay, Alibaba. So he said you need not to be best. Your idea need not to be best, but you have to be fast in the market. Okay, so that what it is. So let me give you very quickly the five startup idea. Obhinandan, how much time we have? I have already 1 hour crossed.
Yes,
Can
sir.
I take?
Your time is still, sir,
Can I take
5:30. Yes, sir. It's up to 5:30, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So let me give you some 5 startup idea of 21-22. Okay, now coming, but don't get limited by my idea. I am just giving you as an example. You should think by yourself and find out those ideas. So I am giving my example, which I find that these are the lucrative idea where you can work on as a student. You can work on, and you can find a product, and you can open up a startup company on that. The first idea is educational technology, as some of you are telling. EdTech company will come in 2021 and 22. Now what actually COVID shows us, this is a one eye opener to me also. Okay, the COVID shows us that that you need not to be in the college to pursue your study. You can pursue your study from your bedroom also. And also this has opened up a very new challenges. You need not to be study on the same professor. You can choose the best professor. You can choose the best professor whom you want to study in the world, and they can just give you you can teach. There are MIT open course like this. And this is not only in your study. There are three areas. One is upskilling. Upskilling means you need to give skill. You can open a company which will provide skill. Okay, so skill are three types skill. One is job skilling. Job skilling means lot of people have lost their job. Job scenario is very bad, and a lot of our village student, they need this type of skill, like English speaking skill, personality development skill, public speaking skill, sales training, and you should make the less bright student employable. That should be your startup company's objective. Okay, so you can provide this. You can open a EdTech technology. This is just a suggestion to think more about it. So which will give this type of skill to make the people employable. Huge requirement nowadays for this type of company. There is no such company. Okay, very few companies are there. Okay, another is soft skill. To get a job and sustain a job, you not only need an engineering degree and all those things, you also need communication skill, you need leadership, you need team management. All these things also needed when you are in job. Okay, so nobody actually teach us this communication skill or leadership skill or team management. So can you open a company or open up a course, online course, nothing offline, online course, make videos, make it available at very low cost or free of cost. Initially free of cost, later low cost, which will teach this soft skill. And also hobby based learning. Nowadays these school children, like I have a very small son who is in class 6. So what I was following him through the COVID-19, he get bored by sitting inside the home. He could not during COVID time, during second phase of COVID, we don't allow him to go to playground and play with other children. We don't allow. Nobody allow actually. So he get bored, and then I took a class, online class for guitar, singing, and he was very happy. He get involved. So that type of opportunity has come up after COVID. As of now, only very, very one or two companies are there, but you can make a new company. So this is another. This was the first startup idea. Second startup idea is personal finance. This is another startup idea. This is personal finance means people in the age group of 15 to 25, in your age group, you don't have any idea. When you start, you get a job and you start earning, you should also invest some part of your earning as a savings. Okay, where to invest, what are the area to invest? There is no such company available, and there is nothing available to the young students, young people who are at 15 to 25 years age. So how you can tap that potential? There is a huge demand. Okay, how you can tap that potential? You can create content or course, online course, that where they can invest, what are the risks, what are the opportunity, what was the reward. You can open that, or you can create an app for investment. There are 2-3 apps in Google Play Store. You can also create an app through which they will pay you, and then you invest. Okay, so this is another. Then startup idea 3 is food or agri-tech startup. Actually, food startup. Food startup, as I tell you, Zomato is a food startup. It is a very simple idea, bringing the food from restaurant to your home. This is the idea. I was thinking one day that with this idea, people earn $1 billion. This is amazing. Okay, with a very simple idea. So now, but that idea is already blocked. You cannot now fight with Zomato or Swiggy. They are very big. So don't think to open a startup in that line. But think of another area, like the back end. Like this small restaurant, they buy their raw material like vegetable, then chicken and mutton. They buy to prepare food. So why not you make a Zomato type startup that you bring food item from market to restaurant. Okay, so that is one area which is untapped. Okay, and nowadays cloud kitchen has come up. Cloud kitchen means actually there is no restaurant, but you have a small kitchen and people just order it and you home deliver the food. Okay, home deliver the means restaurant food you home deliver. Okay, so that is called cloud kitchen. Now it will come up, because people are now afraid to go to restaurant. Okay, then nowadays organic food are coming up, because our food supply system got contaminated with plastic, with many things, with heavy metals. It got contaminated. So many people are turning up for organic food. So in Pune, there is a company who actually who has a garden, very big garden. Okay, so you can rent some part of that garden, and you can tell that, okay, in this garden you just grow cauliflower, tomato, whatever you want. So they will grow with organic fertilizer, not chemical fertilizer, organic fertilizer, and those tomato and cauliflower they will give you, and instead of that they will take a rent. Okay, so these type of area are coming up. I was working in Dubai. In Dubai there is a restaurant. That restaurant, the idea of that restaurant is they will supply you food as per your calorie. You just tell them that, okay, I want 400 calorie in my lunch. Okay, so every day they will serve you lunch with 400 calorie only. Okay, but different dishes. Every day they will give you different dishes of dinner and lunch, but it contains only 400 calorie. So you dictate the calorie and they will serve the food. Okay, and then there is another area called diabetic food. In our country we are the diabetic capital of the world. In our country 30-40% people are diabetic. Actually there is no food for them. Okay, every food has sugar. So there is a very big area where you can tap that. Another startup idea 4 is the content curation. Content curation means, let me explain what it is. If I want to ask you that, okay, suppose I want to file my income tax. How can I file my income tax? Okay, if I want to ask you, you will tell, okay, go to Google and search. Okay, so I go to Google, I search. If I search, you all has realized it. If I search, there will be 100 pages will come. Now I don't have, and most of the pages are Miss Bagwas. Most of the pages are just wastage of time. So I don't have any time. I don't have any time to filter all these information. Like nowadays, any course you want to suppose you want to learn mobile repairing, okay, any course, or you want to learn artificial intelligence, you want to learn data analytics, okay, any course you want to learn actually available in YouTube, but there was no app or no method that how you can search a good course. Okay, so basically we are bombarded with many information nowadays, which Google has done it. Okay, after internet comes, we are bombarded with lot of information, but we don't have time to filter those information. We need lot of information to read to get what I actually need. Okay, so can you make a product which will filter this information from Google? Okay, so that is a very big need. This is called content curation. Content curation means you have lot of information, but if there is some, say, AI based, artificial intelligence based, or any way, if your company can, if I ask something from your company, suppose I ask that I want to learn guitar. Okay, I want to learn guitar. So how to learn guitar? So if I go to YouTube, there may be 1 lakh tutorials available how to learn guitar. So if there is some company which will filter those videos and give me small 1-2 video which will save my time, and I'll be willing to pay. Okay, so that is another idea. And last idea is gaming. Gaming has come in a big way. So you need not to have a very techie type people to make a proper game. You make it a simple time pass game. Okay, like as I told you, Ludo is the biggest game in Google Play Store in India. Ludo, we all know Ludo, how to so online Ludo making, many companies has made online Ludo making. So there is a requirement now for young adults, some time pass game. It should not be very complicated, and you need not to think big things to play this game. Just people want some relaxation, some time pass game. Okay, so if your company can produce this type of online game, there is a huge demand. People will pay for it. Okay, so these are the 5 startup ideas. Just to tell, this is not a finish. It is just some to give you some idea that how you can proceed. Now we will go. Now we'll go quickly to entrepreneur mindset. Entrepreneur mindset is needed. So what is entrepreneur mindset? This entrepreneur or opening a startup business. Let me give you one statistic. 95% startup failed after 1 year. 95%. 98% startup failed after 2 years. Okay. 99% startup failed after 5 years. So startup failed. Okay, people just start and then they have some loss, and they cannot sustain. So what you need a mindset that when you open a business. Yeah, any question?
No.
Okay, so you should have a passion what you do, otherwise you cannot sustain. And believe on the idea which you start up. Believe on the idea. Don't bother what other people say, and have the capacity to learn 10,000 hours. Let me give you what is this 10,000 hours. You can, as of now, you can be an expert on any damn subject in the world. You can be an expert on any damn subject because all the informations are available in Google, in YouTube, all the information in internet, all the information are available. Suppose if I want to a eye doctor, Okay, if I want, I can read all the books, or everything is available to become an eye doctor. Or if I want to any damn thing, okay, you can. But this is a study done by MIT. To become an expert, you need to spend 10,000 hours of reading. 10,000 hours of reading. Okay, 8,600, around 8,600 hours is 1 year. Okay, so 10,000 hours means you cannot, 24 hours you cannot read, right? So at least you need 2 to 3 years to become expert in any subject. This is so if you want to be expert in your startup idea, read and read. At least 5,000 hours you should read to become an expert. Okay, in that area. Another thing for a good startup is, ingredients for a good startup is, do market research. So don't jump that. Suppose you are very good in coding, okay, coding or making some mobile game. So don't jump and open a company just like that. Okay, you have to. Okay, that is your strength point. Good, you should open a startup company on your strength point. That is also acceptable. But before you open a startup company, do market research. Market research means who will buy my product, who will be interested in my product. Okay, and also, all the big companies, they want to they have a very good vision. Let me tell you that vision. I have studied this, like Steve Jobs or Mark Zuckerberg. They always want to make value to the society. Their first objective is to make value and impact to the society rather than earning money. Okay, so when you open a startup, think on this direction, that how my startup or my idea make value to the society or make value to my customer. Okay, think on that direction rather than how I will make profit and money. That will automatically come. If you make value, money will automatically come. Okay, so the third point is align the demand in the market to your passion. As I give you 5 ideas, you find out that you can generate 500 ideas. Okay, and then you find out that these are the these are the demanding idea, and these are my strength. This is my passion. So find out one idea which align with your demand and passion, and then make the proper business plan. So proper business plan is also very good, and attach to a good mentor. Okay, so in your company, Abhinandan, in your institute, Abhinandan is there. Abhinandan is a very good mentor. You can also find out any other mentor, because you are very young. You don't have all the experience to start a company. So find a mentor, find a teacher who will teach you, who will guide you. Okay, because you don't have all the experience, so you will fail. Okay, very soon you will fail if you don't have experience. So learn from others' mistakes. So find a person who are more experienced in this field, and request him to guide you. Okay, make him your mentor. Okay, and then he will guide you as per his knowledge and experience, but it is better than you, so you will be benefited. And always start small and think big. Okay, so when you start very small, but your idea should be very big. Okay, and the last thing which I everybody asking me that, sir, from where I will get the money, from where I will get the funding. Okay, so there are actually 4 levels of funding. If you are interested, I will take this in another session. But today I just want to give you just some glimpse of what I want to tell. So first one is when you start a company, this is called bootstrapping. Bootstrapping means you invest little bit money, whatever you have, take it from your father, mother, take it from your friends, okay, take from your relatives and open a startup. This is what it is, okay. So first you start very small, say 5,000 rupees. Take it from your friends, from your own savings, from your parents, from your relatives, close friends, and start the company. Find out whether you are getting any money back or not. Okay, means your business is running or not. So when your business is running, you start getting money back, you have some return. Okay, then apply for seed funding. Seed means beej hota hai na, beej. So seed funding, this is the second step of funding, seed funding. So this seed funding, what it is, they will give you some money, say 5 lakh, 10 lakh rupees, to prove you that your idea will run as a business. Okay, so there are many government of India has many schemes. MSME, medium and small scale industries, has many scheme already available, free scheme available. So once you start your company after bootstrapping, you can approach for seed funding. They will give you some 10 lakh, 15 lakh, 20 lakh like this. With that, you can little bit grow. You cannot grow very big, but you can little bit grow, and you can prove that yes, you have an idea which is getting the money back. Then once you on that stage, from a seed like this small tree, small plant coming up, you just coming up like this. When you are coming up like this, then you can go to angel investor. So if you search in Google angel investor in India, there are a lot of people, actually very rich people, very rich bank people, also companies, including Tata. Okay, they want to actually invest in startup. Why they want to invest in startup? Because it happens like Zomato. If they invest in Zomato early in their life, then Zomato suddenly becomes very big, making so much of profit. So they will get the share of that profit, because angel investor will take some stake from your company, some shares they will take. Okay, so instead of that, they will give you money, and that is a big money. Suppose 50 lakh, 1 crore, 2 crore, up to 2 crore, 3 crore rupees they will give in stage 1. And they have stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. First they will give you in stage 1, phase 1, they will give you say 50 lakh or 1 crore rupees. Then you expand your business, start your business, sustain your business. Once you do that, you can apply for stage 2 or phase 2 to the angel investor. There are many angel investors. You will be able to approach them. Many in India. Okay, then you go to stage 2. In stage 2, they will give you 2 crore to 10 crore rupees. Okay, and in stage 3, they will give you 10 crore to 50 crore rupees. Okay, they will give you 10 crore to 50 crore. Then you run full business, and once you complete that and you need more money to expand that business, then you go for a IPO like Zomato in BSE index. So you go from a private company to public company. Okay, then you generate a IPO. Okay, so initially you registered a private company in your own name. It requires only 1,000 rupees to open up a company. Okay, and it is online. Within 5 days you can open up a company in your name. Okay, then you go for a seed funding, then you go for angel investor, then you go for IPO. Okay, so these are the funding thing. So last and foremost, so how to make an impact, how to innovate and make an impact to the world. So the steps are like this. Choose a problem, what to chase. Okay, so choose a very big problem which is what to solve. Okay, in our country, hunger is a problem. In our country, healthcare is a problem. We don't have healthcare. We don't have drinking water. We don't have food on our plate. Okay, so all these are problems. Okay, choose a very big problem. Think differently how to solve that problem. So think out of the box and think in the next level. You cannot solve a problem or open a start company by thinking in the same level. Find a low cost solution. As I told you, those Jugaad innovation. Find the Jugaad innovation, innovate. Make a prototype. Prototype means make a small model of your idea, and it may fail, it may succeed. If it is succeed, go ahead. If it fail, take the feedback, learn from it, that why it got failed. It is very important. You cannot make a very good company without failing it. Okay, without failing you cannot make. Okay, so you have to fail. You will fail. Okay, but when you will fail, somebody will get in depression and then he leave the startup. But somebody will take the lesson learned from that failure and again stand up again. So how many times you fall does not matter. How you come up, how you jump back is what counts. Okay, and then again, based on that feedback of failure, you innovate and modify your design. Fail again, modify again. Okay, and then make a robust new solution. Okay, and then make the impact, and money and fame will follow you. Okay, so these are the ways a student can make impact. And so the conclusions, in the conclusion, you know, we have 4 billion people in the world who are poor. Most of them are in India and China. So we cannot afford very big, costly solution of Western countries like US and Europe. So world needs frugal, flexible, and inclusive, low-cost innovation. World need. Big company will not come up with innovation or any product for these poor people because they don't have any purchasing power. So they will not come up. They will not put their head or their R&D to make product for these poor people. So who will make product for these people? You and me. Students are the only hope in the total world. You know, you can make a product which will help these 4 billion people, and believe in yourself that you can change the world. Always that belief should be there. How small you are, you know, does not matter. If you think that you are too small to make an impact, then sleep with a mosquito. Okay, a single mosquito can make you so restless in night. Okay, a single mosquito. So sleep with the mosquito in night. One single mosquito can make you restless. So don't think that you are small. Believe that you can change the world, and together we can improve lives everywhere. So that's all. You know, I want to finish my presentation with a Steve Jobs quotation. This is called "Stay hungry, stay foolish." So always stay hungry for new knowledge, new technology, and behave like a foolish. Don't think that you are a very knowledgeable person. Always stay foolish throughout your life. That will help you to learn new things. And this is my personal email and WhatsApp number. You can note it down. For any point of time, you can talk with Abhinandan. Abhinandan will connect me with you, or you can send me direct WhatsApp. For any help, suppose if you have a new idea, you want to open a new company, you require investment, okay, connect with me. Okay, connect always with me. So together we will make a team. Okay, connect with Abhinandan, connect with me. Together we will make a team, and we will solve whatever our capacity is. We'll solve some problem in society and make a small impact. That's all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I would like to get some questions from our participants.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any question from the
Yes, you
participants?
can ask question.
স্যার আমরা যখন স্যার কোনো একটা ইউনিভার্সিটি কিংবা কোনো প্রজেক্টের উপরে আমরা যখন কাজ করব,
হ্যাঁ,
তো তখন আমাদের মাইন্ডসেটটা কিরকম থাকা দরকার স্যার প্রজেক্টের উপরে?
প্রজেক্টের উপরে কাজ করার আগে দেখো দু টাইপের কাজ। তুমি যদি বিজনেস করতে চাও, হ্যাঁ, if you want to do business, then first you have to think that what problem it will solve. Okay, first you have to think that যে তুমি যে কাজটা করছো এটা কি কোনো প্রবলেমকে সলভ করবে, আর যদি সলভ করে কে কিনবে আমার এই প্রোডাক্টটা, কে কিনবে, who will be interested to buy it or pay for it. হ্যাঁ, সেইটা প্রথমে দেখে তারপর তার কাজ করতে শেখা উচিত। এটা বিজনেসের ক্ষেত্রে। এমনি তুমি টেকনিক্যাল কিছু করছো, that is for learning, that is another thing. But if you want to open a startup business, want to do a innovation and startup business, first see that who will buy my product, whether somebody will ready to pay or not. Okay, so সেরকম মাইন্ডসেট থাকতে হবে। দিস নাম্বার ওয়ান। নাম্বার টু, লেট মি টেল ইউ, তুমি যখনই কিছু নতুন করতে যাবে, কেউ না কেউ থাকবে বন্ধুদের মধ্যে, রিলেটিভের মধ্যে, হ্যাঁ, তারা বলবে এইসব কি করছিস, হ্যাঁ, তুই পড়াশোনা না করে এসব কি করছিস, ঠিক আছে? হ্যাঁ, এটা বলবে, কেউ না কেউ বলবে, হ্যাঁ, এটা অলওয়েজ বলে, কেউ না কেউ থাকে। এবার তাদের দ্বারা ইনফ্লুয়েন্স হবে না, তাদের কথা শুনবে না, শুনবে কিন্তু don't get influenced by them. Okay, so do your job with believe what you are doing is fruitful, or believe on your idea. So people will always tell that don't do this, don't do that. People will always tell, but believe me, এখনকার দিনে আমি একটা জিনিস বলছি, this is very I want to make it clear. Our education systems are very old. ঠিক আছে, আমরা যেগুলো পড়াই those are 50 years old. In engineering college or any college, what we taught are 50 years old. In modern society, those are obsolete. Okay, তো তুমি পাস করে একটা চাকরি পাওয়ার জন্য একটা ডিগ্রি দরকার, দ্যাটস অ্যানাদার ম্যাটার। তার জন্য পড়াশোনা করো, সেটা গুড। হ্যাঁ, কিন্তু তুমি যদি রিয়েলি বড় কিছু ইম্প্যাক্ট করতে চাও, বড় মানে রিচ হতে চাও, বড় কিছু ইম্প্যাক্ট করতে চাও, then you have to search for a single idea. হ্যাঁ, look for it, wait করো, ইয়ে করো, মানে find out that what idea, তো একটা idea can change your life. Like Facebook is the 5th richest person, that Mark Zuckerberg, very young person, 5th richest person in the world. Okay, Mark Zuckerberg. Okay, so only single idea, you know. So suppose someday you will come up better product than Facebook. Nowadays what happened, you know, let me tell you this, nowadays people are bored with Facebook. People use it so much during this corona time. People are bored with Facebook. So this is the time, come up with some new application which will defeat the Facebook. WhatsApp has come up 5-6 years before. WhatsApp has come up, and Facebook find that WhatsApp is people are using WhatsApp instead of Facebook. Okay, then what they do, Facebook then buy the WhatsApp company with million dollar, they buy it. Okay, so this is one strategy, that you make a company which make a threat to this big company, and they will come to you, they will give you $1 million, $2 million to buy your company. Okay, sell it, you get $2 million. You will not never save $2 million by doing a job. Okay, so make a company which will make a threat to those companies. And Facebook has this insecurity, you know, that someday somebody will come up with some other product which will then people will, within 1 month, people will ship to that product. And so your mindset should be like that. Okay, any other question?
স্যার আমার একটা কোশ্চেন ছিল।
Yes,
স্যার আপনি যেটা বললেন, যেমন স্যার একটা এমন একটা প্ল্যান করতে যাতে ওটাই আমরা কাজ করতে চাই আর কি।
হ্যাঁ
কিন্তু স্যার আমরা ধরুন যেমন 80% উপরে স্টুডেন্ট যারা ইতিমধ্যে যারা এখন কলেজ ইনস্টিটিউটে অ্যাডমিশন নিয়েছে,
হ্যাঁ
80% উপরে স্টুডেন্টের মাইন্ডসেট কিরকম হয় যে আমরা এখানে অ্যাডমিশন নিয়ে অন্য জায়গায় একটা জব করবো, কারণ স্যার সবার অবস্থা কিরকম হয় না তো।
হ্যাঁ
তো তাহলে আমরা যদি প্রজেক্টটা জব করতে করতে করি কিংবা তাহলে স্যার কিরকম কি প্রবলেম হতে পারে?
না না না, জব আমি তো সেটাই বললাম, অপশন 3 এর কথা বললাম না, জব করতে করতেই প্রজেক্টটা করতে হবে। বাট ওই প্রজেক্টটা যখন তুমি এখন অ্যাডমিশন নিয়েছো না কলেজে, এখন তোমার হাতে অনেক টাইম, ইউ আর লুজিং টাইম বাই সিইং ফেসবুক, হোয়াটসঅ্যাপ, ইউটিউব, উই আর অল ইনক্লুডিং মি, উই আর লুজিং টাইম বাই সিইং অল দোজ থিংস। সো ইনস্টেড অফ লুজিং টাইম, তুমি জব করতে করতে গিয়ে একটা নতুন আইডিয়া বার করবে সে নয়। এই স্টুডেন্ট লাইফেই তোমার কাছে প্রচুর টাইম আছে, আর বাবা মা তোমাকে বলছে না যে ভাই তুই জব কর। এখন স্টুডেন্ট লাইফে তো এখন তুমি তো স্টুডেন্ট আছো, তো বাবা মা তোমাকে জবের প্রেসার দিচ্ছে না। বাট ওয়ান্স ইউ পাসড আউট ফ্রম দিস কলেজ না, সবাই তোমাকে চাপ দেবে যে ভাই জব কর, যা পারিস তাই জব কর। আর জব করা আজকের দিনে তুমি সকাল 8টায় বেরোবে, রাত 8টায় ঘরে আসবে, অ্যান্ড টোটালি এক্সস্টেড। ওকে, তারপরে এসে তুমি নতুন ইনোভেশন করবে, তোমার অত এনার্জি থাকবে না। তো সেই ইনোভেশনে যা আইডিয়া, যা কাজ করা, সেটা এখন করে নিতে হবে এই স্টুডেন্ট লাইফে, যখন when you are ফ্রি। হ্যাঁ, তুমি বাকি জিনিসে সময় নষ্ট না করে তোমাকে এখন ওই বীজটা বপন করতে হবে, যে তুমি যে আইডিয়াটা নিয়ে কাজ করবে সেইটা এখন করতে হবে, সেই ইনোভেশনটা এখন করতে হবে। দেন when you go for job, then you can do it parallelly with the job. Yes, you can do it parallelly. Any other question? তোমার আর কিছু কোশ্চেন আছে মাহাটা?
স্যার কোশ্চেন আছে আরেকটা।
বলো
স্যার
আমার একটা কোশ্চেন আছে,
এটা বলে দিন তারপর আমি বলছি কোশ্চেনটা। আমারটা নেক্সট করে বলছি।
আচ্ছা,
আচ্ছা,
আর
বলো,
কার
next
কোশ্চেন আছে
বলো।
বলো।
স্যার আমার একটা কোশ্চেন আছে।
হ্যাঁ
স্যার আমি সৌম্যজিৎ,
হ্যাঁ
তো বলছি স্যার আমি এখন ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং পড়ছি।
হ্যাঁ
তো ব্যাপার বলার কারণটা হচ্ছে এটা, মানুষের লাইফ তো কোনো সেট হয় না, এটা হলো এক। 2 নম্বর, আজকে আমি ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং পড়ছি, তো আফটার ফিউচার যদি আমি কম্পিউটার নিয়ে কোনো কোর্স করতে চাই, মেকানিক্যাল ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং এর, যেমন অটোক্যাড, ক্রাশিয়া এরকম টাইপের যদি কোনো কোর্স করতে চাই, তাহলে ইন ফিউচারে কি আমি এটাকে নিয়ে কোনো কিছু গ্রেন করতে পারবো, মানি গ্রেন?
হ্যাঁ, আরে ভাই আজকালকার দিনে পড়াশোনা পুরো চেঞ্জ হয়ে গেছে। আমি তোমায় বলছি, আমি নিজে কেমিক্যাল ইঞ্জিনিয়ার, আমি চেয়েছিলাম কম্পিউটার সায়েন্স ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং করতে, কিন্তু আমাদের সময় তো এত ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং কলেজ ছিল না, তো আমি যাদবপুরে কম্পিউটার সায়েন্স পাইনি, কিন্তু আমার ইন্টারেস্ট ছিল কম্পিউটার সায়েন্স পড়া। নিজে আমি পেয়েছি কেমিক্যাল ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং, পড়েছি কেমিক্যাল ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং। বাট হু স্টপ ইউ টু রিড আদার? আমি তোমায় বলছি, একটা এমআইটি, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, which is considered the best engineering institute in America, ঠিক আছে? এমআইটি কি করেছে, জাস্ট নোট ইট ডাউন, এমআইটি ওপেন কোর্সওয়্যার বলে গুগলে লেখো, তুমি যে সাবজেক্টে পড়তে চাইবে সেই সাবজেক্টের ভিডিও অ্যাভেলেবেল আছে। ওদের স্যাররা যেটা পড়ায়, ওরা বেস্ট পড়ায়, ওদের স্যাররা, সেই সাবজেক্টের ভিডিও অ্যাভেলেবেল আছে, ওদের কোর্স করো। কেন? হোয়াই ইন ফিউচার? ডু ইট নাও। হ্যাঁ, রিড ইট। ইট ইজ নট দ্যাট তুমি অন্য একটা ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং এ আছো বলে কম্পিউটার করতে পারবে না, টোটালি চেঞ্জ হয়ে গেছে। হ্যাঁ, ওই এখন আর এই মেকানিক্যাল ইঞ্জিনিয়ার, কম্পিউটার ইঞ্জিনিয়ার এসব বলে আর কিছু নেই। অ্যান্ড এখন সব ওপেন হয়ে গেছে। এটা এরকম নয় যে আমাদের সময় এটা ছিল না, আমাদের সময় ইন্টারনেট ছিল না, আমাদের সময় গুগল ছিল না, ঠিক আছে? তো আমরা পড়তে চাইলেও পড়তে পারতাম না, আমাদের সে লাইব্রেরি গিয়ে গিয়ে বই খুঁজে বার করতে হতো। এখন কি এভরিথিং ইজ অ্যাভেলেবেল। ডু ইট নাও। হোয়াই ইন ফিউচার? ডু ইট নাও সো দ্যাট, আমি তোমায় বলছি, সুন্দর পিচাই নাম শুনেছো? সুন্দর পিচাই কে? সুন্দর পিচাই কে নাম শুনেছো?
হ্যাঁ স্যার, গুগলের
হেড। আমি বলছি, আমি হ্যাঁ, আমি মানে খুব লজ্জা পাই এটা বলতে, তবু আমি বলছি আজকে তোমাদের সামনে, যখন আমি এমটেক করছি আইআইটি খড়গপুরে, আমার পাশের রুমে সুন্দর পিচাই ছিল। হ্যাঁ, সেটা আমি অনেকদিন বাদে জানতে পারি, এখন জানতে পারি, তখন তো অত নাম ফাম ছিল না। ও বিটেক করছিল। হি ইজ এ মেটেরিয়াল সায়েন্স ইঞ্জিনিয়ার, মেটালার্জি ইঞ্জিনিয়ার। হি ইজ এ মেটালার্জি ইঞ্জিনিয়ার। হ্যাঁ, ও আজকে পৃথিবীর সবচেয়ে বড় টেক কোম্পানির সবচেয়ে বড় পোস্টে আছে, মেটালার্জি ইঞ্জিনিয়ার। হি ডোন্ট হ্যাভ এ কম্পিউটার সায়েন্স ডিগ্রি, ব্যাচেলার ডিগ্রি। তো সুন্দর পিচাই যদি করতে, সুন্দর পিচাইকে দেখে মনে হয় ও প্রচন্ড সে গ্ল্যামার যুক্ত, একেবারে রোগা ছোট্ট বাচ্চা ছেলের মতো দেখতে, বাট হি হ্যাজ এ মেন্টাল পাওয়ার। ওর পাওয়ার কি, ও প্রচন্ড ভালোভাবে অ্যানালিসিস করতে পারে। সেই জন্য ও আজকে আমেরিকানদের ছাড়িয়ে আমেরিকান কোম্পানিতে সবচেয়ে হাইয়েস্ট পোস্টে আছে। এ মেটালার্জি ইঞ্জিনিয়ার, বিটেক ইন মেটালার্জি ফ্রম আইআইটি খড়গপুর। আমার রুমের দুটো রুম পাশে ও থাকতো, ঠিক আছে। ও এতদিন বাদে মানে 5 বছর আগে ও খড়গপুর আইআইটিতে এসেছিল, তখন স্টুডেন্টরা ওকে জিজ্ঞেস করেছিল, সেটা ইউটিউবে আমি দেখেছি, ইউটিউবে ভিডিওটা আছে, স্টুডেন্টরা ওকে জিজ্ঞেস করেছিল আপনি কোন হোস্টেলে থাকতেন, কোন রুমে থাকতেন, তখন ও বলেছিল যে আমি এই হোস্টেলে এই রুমে থাকতাম এই এত সালে। তখন আমি বুঝতে পারি আর আমিও তো ওই সালে ওই হোস্টেলে ওই রুমের দুটো রুম পাশে থাকতাম। ঠিক আছে। তো দেয়ার ইজ নো সাচ বাউন্ড যে আজকে কম্পিউটার সায়েন্স, আমি কম্পিউটার সায়েন্স, আমি মেকানিক্যাল মানে আমি কম্পিউটার সায়েন্স পড়তে পারবো না, না। আর এভরিথিং অ্যাভেলেবেল আছে। ইউ ক্যান গো আউট অ্যান্ড ফাইন্ড এনি সলিউশন। ওকে, খালি ডাক্তারি পড়া আমাদের দেশে একটু বেঁধে রেখেছে, বাট দ্যাট অলসো নট সাস্টেন। মেবি ডাউন দ্য লাইন 5 years anybody can read doctor means MBBS also. Okay, but as of now ডাক্তারি পড়া যাবে না, কিন্তু any branch of engineering পড়া যাবে। Okay, any other question?
হ্যাঁ স্যার। স্যার
হ্যাঁ,
আমি সিভিল নিয়ে পড়ছি, সিভিলে ইন্টারেস্ট। আমি কি ভবিষ্যতে সিভিল নিয়ে মানে বিজনেস করতে চাই, মানে কনস্ট্রাক্টর কোম্পানি বা মানে ডিজাইন, ইন্টেরিয়র ডিজাইন ওই নিয়ে করলে তার স্যার করতে চাই। কিন্তু এখন যে পড়ছি, কিন্তু মানে আর যে স্পেশালিটি তাই মানে মাইন্ডকে ডিস্ট্র্যাক্ট করছে, মানে পড়তে বসে যেন অন্য কিছু ডিস্ট্র্যাক্ট হচ্ছে। স্যার ডিস্ট্রাকশনটা কি করে আটকাবো?
না ডিস্ট্রাকশন, দেখো ডিস্ট্রাকশন তো হয়, আমাদের সবারই ডিস্ট্রাকশন হয়। তোমায় কি করতে হবে, ডিস্ট্রাকশন কেন হয় জানো তো? আমি তোমায় বলছি, আমারও হয়। আমি যখন পড়তে বসি বা ধরো কোনো কাজ করতে বসি, তখন আমার পাশে যদি আমি ফোনটা রেখে দিই, এখন যেমন আমি পাশে ফোনটা রেখে দিয়েছি, আমার না প্রতি 10 মিনিট অন্তর মনে হয় ফোনটা একবার দেখি। এইটা হচ্ছে আমার, হ্যাঁ, ফোনটা একবার দেখি, ফেসবুকটা একবার দেখে নি, হোয়াটসঅ্যাপে কি মেসেজ এলো দেখে নি, মেল কেউ কিছু করলো কিনা দেখে নি। দ্যাট ইজ দ্য মেজর ডিস্ট্রাকশন। তো ফোনটা সেই সময় সবচেয়ে হচ্ছে, যে সময় তুমি পড়তে বসছো ফোনটা বন্ধ করে অন্য রুমে রেখে দাও, ঠিক আছে? অন্য রুমে রেখে দাও। 1 ঘন্টা পড়ো, তোমায় 2 ঘন্টা 3 ঘন্টা পড়তে হবে না, 1 ঘন্টা পড়ো, বাট মানে একেবারে উইদাউট ডিস্ট্রাকশন পড়ো। তো ফোন ইজ দ্য মেজর ডিস্ট্রাকশন, ঠিক আছে? আমাদের কি হয়, এটা আমি বলছি, এটা আমি মানে নতুন করে দেখলাম, এবং আমাদের স্টুডেন্টদেরও আমি এটা বলি। ফোনে কি হয়, আমার সবসময় মনে হয় যে ভাই আমি একটু ফোনটা দেখে নি, হোয়াটসঅ্যাপে কি মেসেজ এলো। আর ফোনে কন্টিনিউয়াস কিছু না কিছু মেসেজ আসছে, ঠিক আছে? কি এলো, এবার যেই আমি পড়ছিলাম, আমি যেই আমার মাইন্ডটা ফোনের দিকে নিলাম, হ্যাঁ, আমার কিন্তু মাইন্ডটা ঘুরে গেল। আবার সেই মাইন্ডটাকে আবার পড়াশোনায় আনতে গেলে ইট টেকস 5 মিনিট টু 10 মিনিট। তো 10 মিনিট আমার লস হয়ে গেল, আমি ওই ফোনটা দেখলাম। তো যে সময় তুমি পড়ছো বা কোনো কাজ করছো, স্টপ দ্য ফোন। ওকে, একদম স্টপ করে অন্য রুমে রেখে এসো। তোমার দরকার নেই তো, তুমি তো মানে কোনো এমার্জেন্সিতেও তোমার কোনো দরকার নেই, তো ফোন অন্য জায়গায় রেখে তুমি পড়ো, তাহলে দেখবে মাইন্ড ডাইভার্ট হবে, ঠিক আছে?
আর স্যার আমি যদি সিভিল বিজনেস করতে চাই স্যার, তাকে কি কাজ একটু এক্সপিরিয়েন্স করে তারপরে যদি মানে বিজনেস এক্সপ্যান্ড করতে পারি?
না, বিজনেস তো আজকাল ওইটাই তো বললাম যে স্টুডেন্টরা বিজনেস তো মানে যখন স্টুডেন্ট লাইফ আছে তখন থেকেই শুরু করে। আমি তোমায় একটা উদাহরণ দিচ্ছি, সুইগি বলে একটা কোম্পানি আছে, জানো? সুইগি এই জোম্যাটোর মতো। হ্যাঁ, সুইগি বলে একটা কোম্পানি আছে। তো সুইগি কোম্পানিটা বলছি, আমি একটা ছোট্ট উদাহরণ দিচ্ছি, যেহেতু আমি ওই ছেলেটাকে চিনি। ওর যে ফাউন্ডার, ও আইআইটি খড়গপুরের বিটেক স্টুডেন্ট। আইআইটি খড়গপুরের প্রবলেম কি, সব ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং কলেজেরই এই প্রবলেম, যে ওদের খাওয়া দাওয়া ভালো নয় হোস্টেলে। তো ওরা স্টুডেন্টরা কি করে, আইআইটি খড়গপুরের ভেতরেই কিছু রেস্টুরেন্ট আছে, সেই রেস্টুরেন্টের থেকে রেস্টুরেন্টে যায়, গিয়ে সেখানে ভালো মন্দ খেয়ে আসে। হোস্টেলে খাওয়ায় মানে লোকে একেবারে অরুচি এসে গেছে, খাওয়া ভালো নয়, কোয়ালিটি ভালো নয়, ও রেস্টুরেন্টে যায়। তো যখন রেস্টুরেন্টে যায় তখন এই সুইগির ছেলেটা তখন সেকেন্ড ইয়ারে পড়ে, স্টুডেন্টও সেকেন্ড ইয়ার, মানে ক্লাস 12 পাস করে 2 বছর হয়েছে, ঠিক আছে। ওর মনে হয়েছিল, আচ্ছা ও যেত রেস্টুরেন্টে, তো কিছুদিন বাদে ওর বন্ধুরা বলতো, আচ্ছা তুই যাচ্ছিস যখন, তো আমার জন্য একটা বার্গার নিয়ে চলে আসিস, তো আমার জন্য একটা মশলা ধোসা নিয়ে চলে আসিস, তো এরকম ওকে বারবার অর্ডার। তো ও যেত, ও আসার সময় ওই বন্ধুদের জন্য নিয়ে আসতো। তার থেকে ওর আইডিয়া হয়েছে যে এই যে আমি বন্ধুদের জন্য নিয়ে আসছি, তার মানে কি এর ডিমান্ড আছে যে ওইখান থেকে ওই রেস্টুরেন্টটা থেকে হোস্টেলে পৌঁছে দেওয়া। তখনও কি করেছে, ও বারবার না গিয়ে ও ওই রেস্টুরেন্টেরই একটা ছেলে, যে গরিব ছেলে কাজ করতো, তাকে বলেছে যে দেখ, তোকে যদি ফোনে অর্ডার দেয়, হ্যাঁ তোর ফোন নাম্বারটা দে, তোকে অর্ডার দিলে তুই গিয়ে পৌঁছে দিবি, ঠিক আছে, হোস্টেলে পৌঁছে দিবি, তোকে আমরা 5 টাকা 10 টাকা বেশি দিয়ে দেবো, ঠিক আছে, পৌঁছে দেওয়ার জন্য, ঠিক আছে। এরকম ভাবে সেই হোস্টেলের ছেলেটাকে বলেছে, সেই রেস্টুরেন্টের ছেলেটাকে বলেছে। তো তারপর থেকে লোকে আর ওই রেস্টুরেন্টে যেত না, অর্ডার দিয়ে দিত, এসে হোস্টেল রুমে পৌঁছে দিত, ঠিক আছে, ও ক্যাম্পাসের মধ্যেই রেস্টুরেন্টটা, ঠিক আছে, পৌঁছে দিত। সেইখান থেকে ওর আইডিয়া এসছে, ওই জোম্যাটোর মতো সুইগিও একই কাজ করে, সেইখান থেকে ওর আইডিয়া এসছে যে কেন না এরকম একটা কোম্পানি খোলা যায় যে কিনা ওই রেস্টুরেন্ট থেকে হোস্টেল অব্দি পৌঁছে দেবে। দিয়ে ও ওইখানে, ও তখন ফাইনাল ইয়ার, তখন ওই সুইগির প্রথম ইয়েটা ওইখানে খড়গপুর আইআইটিতেই খোলে, এবং হিউজ সাকসেস হয়, হিউজ সাকসেস। সব স্টুডেন্টরা ও একটা অ্যাপ খোলে, এবং সেই অ্যাপে সব স্টুডেন্টরা রুম নাম্বার দিয়ে দেয়, হোস্টেলে কোন রুম নাম্বারে আর কি খাবার নেবে, হ্যাঁ সেইটা বলে দেয়, ও গিয়ে হোয়াটসঅ্যাপের মতো ও গিয়ে সাপ্লাই করে। এরকম করে ও আইডিয়াটা স্টুডেন্ট লাইফে করে খড়গপুর আইআইটির মধ্যে ইমপ্লিমেন্ট করে ও বেরোলো। বেরিয়ে ও কিন্তু আর চাকরি করলো না, ঠিক আছে, ও চাকরি করলো না। খড়গপুর আইআইটি স্টুডেন্ট, বুঝতেই পারছো, প্রচুর ভালো চাকরি পেয়েছে ক্যাম্পাস থেকে, ও করলো না। ও দেখলো যে আমি এই আইডিয়াটা দিয়ে কোম্পানি খুলবো, দিয়ে ও কোম্পানি খুললো বোম্বেতে, এবং প্রচন্ড ফ্লারিশ হলো, প্রচুর টাকা রোজগার করেছে। আজকের দিনে ও মানে কিছু না হলেও 1000-2000 কোটি টাকার মালিক। ছোট বাচ্চা ছেলে, 26 বছর 27 বছর বয়স, ঠিক আছে, তো 1000-2000 কোটি টাকা মালিক। তো তোমরা ভেবো না যে আমি পাস হওয়ার পর কিছু চালু করব, না, চালু এখনই করতে হবে। পাস হওয়ার পর উইল বি টু লেট। সেই সময় তোমার কাছে টাইম থাকবে না। ওই বললাম না, সকাল 8টায় বেরিয়ে রাত 8টায় পৌঁছবে, তো ওই বাসে ট্রাম ঠেকিয়ে পৌঁছবে। তো চালু যা করার ইচ্ছে আছে এখনই।
আমি যেটা বলছি সেটাই নিজে বিজনেস করবো, সিভিল নিয়ে পড়ছি, পরে মানে কনস্ট্রাকশন কোম্পানি হয়তো খোলার ইচ্ছা আছে স্যার, তখন কি করবো, কতটা পড়া দরকার?
ওইটাই তো বলছি যে এতক্ষণ তো সেইটারই প্রেজেন্টেশন দিলাম, যে ফাইন্ড আউট কি প্রবলেম আছে কনস্ট্রাকশনে। ওই পড়া দিয়ে তুমি কোনো বিজনেস করতে পারবে না, কারণ পড়াগুলো 50 বছরের পুরনো জিনিস পড়াই আমরা, ঠিক আছে, ওই দিয়ে তুমি বিজনেস করতে পারবে না। তোমাকে বিজনেস করতে হবে, তোমাকে অ্যাকচুয়াল কনস্ট্রাকশনে কি প্রবলেম আছে এখন, ঠিক আছে, সেই দিয়ে বিজনেস করতে হবে, সেইটা তোমায় জানতে হবে। তো যেখানে অনেক কলকাতায় অনেক জায়গায় বাড়ি তৈরি হচ্ছে, তোমার ওই সাউদার্ন এভিনিউ আর আমাদের এনএসসি বোস রোডে কত বাড়ি তৈরি হচ্ছে, যাও ওখানে যারা কনস্ট্রাকশন করছে তাদের সাথে কথা বলো, যে ভাই তোদের কি প্রবলেম হয়, সিমেন্ট আনার প্রবলেম হয়, বালি পাসটা কিসের প্রবলেম হয়, হ্যাঁ সেগুলো জানো কি প্রবলেম হয়, তারপর তুমি তার সলিউশন বার করার চেষ্টা করো। আগে প্রবলেমটা জানো, ঠিক আছে, হ্যাঁ প্রবলেমটা জানো যে ওদের কি প্রবলেম, ঠিক আছে, সেইটা জানো, তারপর তার সলিউশন। হ্যাঁ বলো।
হ্যাঁ স্যার, আমি অন্য মাহাতো বলছিলাম। স্যার আমি কম্পিউটার সায়েন্স এন্ড টেকনোলজি ডিপ্লোমা স্টুডেন্ট, ফার্স্ট ইয়ারের। স্যার আমার ইচ্ছা আছে স্যার সফটওয়্যার কোম্পানি আর কি, যেমন স্যার সফটওয়্যার ডেভেলপার এরকম কোম্পানি স্টার্ট করার। তো সেরকম কিছু টিপস দিন যেগুলো স্যার আমরা আর কি যখন স্টার্ট আপ করবো তখন আমরা যেগুলো ফলো করে।
আমার সাথে কন্ট্যাক্ট করো, আমার কাছে অনেক এরকম আইডিয়া আছে, আমি তোমায় দেবো, সেগুলোর উপর কাজ করো। আমার সাথে কন্ট্যাক্ট করো, আমার হোয়াটসঅ্যাপ করো, আমি তো দিলাম হোয়াটসঅ্যাপ নাম্বারটা, বা অভিনন্দন স্যারের কাছ থেকে নিয়ে নিও, ঠিক আছে, আমায় কন্ট্যাক্ট করো।
হোয়াটসঅ্যাপ নাম্বারটা নিয়ে নিচ্ছি, নোট করে নিয়েছি।
হ্যাঁ ব্যাস, তুমি আমায় পরে হোয়াটসঅ্যাপ করো, আমি তোমায় পরে আলোচনা করবো, কারণ কি আজকে আরেকজন স্পিকার আছে, সেই জন্য আমি একটু তাড়াহুড়ো করছি।
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
তো অভিনন্দন,
হ্যাঁ স্যার,
উইল স্টপ হিয়ার বিকজ देयर इज অ্যানাদার স্পিকার। হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ
স্যার হ্যালো,
হ্যাঁ আমরা কোশ্চেন আমরা আবার নেক্সট সেশনে শেষে নেবো। হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে স্টুডেন্ট। So, with the
sir.
conclusion to this session, thank you, sir. Thank you for your excellent speech. You have given a very much enlightening insight on Jugaad innovation, and you have also said that it is not limited to, or innovation is not limited to any kind of educational background. It can be done by anyone, and the ideas you have shared that has given immense knowledge to our students, I hope, and they will be eventually they will be developing some impactful and creating some good impact for the society and creating their own entrepreneurship and starting their journey. And with that, we thank you, sir, for your guidance and support you have always given us, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Ovinandan, to
Thank you,
give
sir.
me.
Good evening.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
best of
Good
luck.
evening, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Best of
Thank you,
luck.
sir.
Thank you. Good evening.
With the
Bye.
conclusion of this session,
Hmm.
we will be continuing with the next session. We have already have with
Yeah.
us
Thank you
our
very much.
honorable
Hmm.
speaker, Dr. Shibendu Roy. Sir, can you hear me?
Uh, okay, good evening, everybody. I am
Thank you,
here.
sir. So let me give
Good evening, sir.
introduction of him.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Give me a space for introduction, students.
Even everyone.
So I would like to introduce Dr. S.S. Roy. He is a professor of NIT Durgapur. He is one of the colleague of our previous speaker, Dr. Lahiri. So, talking about him, he was a scientist at CSR CMRI Durgapur previously, and now he is working as professor at Department of Mechanical Engineering at NIT Durgapur. His research interests are on additive manufacturing and 3D printing with CAD/CAM and robotics and machine design in intelligent manufacturing systems. One minute. He is the founder coordinator of Ashok Sen Design and Innovation Center, NIT Durgapur. Today he will be speaking on the product design and towards the path towards the innovation and how it's going to create an impact for our youth and for the next generation. Sir, I hand over the session and the platform to you for your lecture, sir.
Okay, good evening, everybody, and thank you very much, the organizer, for giving me an opportunity to share some of my experience in this particular area. But truly speaking, I'm more about the technical person. My background is mechanical engineering, so I like to share my PPT. Just a minute. Okay, can you see my slide?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. So today I like to talk about that more about the product design, product innovation, to the which is one of the important steps or important activities in the entrepreneurship or for an entrepreneur. More specifically, the engineering entrepreneur. So this is my presentation outline. I like to talk about for the first the engineering product, then basic about the entrepreneurship, the product innovation, and the different tools used for the product design and innovation. And I like to show some case studies that we have solved in our institute uh, in respect of the product development, as well as the commercialization of the product, and also the entrepreneurship venture using that our developed product. So as I know that here the most of the participants from the engineering discipline. So I like to start with this way: the what actually engineering is. It's the creative application of the scientific principles to design or to develop devices, structures, machines, apparatus, or the manufacturing processes for the benefit of the society. In other words, it is the creative application of science, mathematical methods, sensory experience, and judgment to the innovation, design, construction, operation, maintenance of the different machine, devices, system, processes. And aim of the engineers or aim of the engineering discipline is the application of principle of engineering science like physics, chemistry, engineering science, physics, mathematics, and material science for design, for analysis, manufacturing, operation, and maintenance of the different products. Product may be devices, it may be machinery, it may be electromechanical system, it may be civil engineering system, or it may be the software, any kind of software development. So these are the few examples of the product in respect of the core industrial sector like mechanical, electrical, chemical, civil. And as the today's topics is the product innovation to entrepreneurship, I like to give introduction to the entrepreneurship. Though the Professor Lahiri already introduced most of the things, I just like to recap that particular portion. That entrepreneurship is the process of systematic innovation which consists of the powerful and the organized search for the changes and a systematic analysis of the opportunities that such change might offer for economic and the social transformation. And there is there are the interrelatedness between the entrepreneur and the enterprise. So enterprise is the business organization that is formed to provide goods and services, creates job, contributes to the national income, exports, and also towards the overall economic development of the country. And in other way, you can say it is the undertaking or the adventure involving uncertainties and risks, and it requires a lot of innovation. So if you see that this tree, that your entrepreneurship is basically a process by which a entrepreneur establishes business. Now, entrepreneur means a person who starts the enterprise. Now, entrepreneurship is the process or action that it is work, whereas the entrepreneur is the person who will start a enterprise or start a business, and an enterprise is the outcome of that. That means entrepreneur is the actor. Entrepreneurship, which is the process of creation, is basically a act. An outcome of the actors and outcome of the act is basically enterprise. Now, entrepreneur and an entrepreneur is a person who develops and owns his or her own enterprise. He or she is the person responsible for setting a new enterprise or new business, and who converts an idea into an opportunity and takes steps to exploit that opportunity to create wealth, who is a moderate risk taker and works under uncertainty for achieving the goals. Entrepreneurs should have an innovative in mind, should reflect a strong urge to be independent, persistently tries to do something better, and it is determined but should have a patience, and exhibit a sense of leadership, exhibit a sense of competitiveness, and take the personal responsibility. If you see the entrepreneurship function, then there are the various functions that has to be performed by the entrepreneur. But first and foremost thing, he or she should be innovative enough. There should be innovation. So that means an act of doing something new, and he or she works to change the environment in accordance of his or her personal vision and the values. So, and innovator and entrepreneur can introduce a new product, introduce new combination of means of production, or introduce a new market for an existing product, or identify a new source of raw materials. So And also, entrepreneurs should take certain amount of risks. So it's taking responsibility for the loss that may occur due to the unforeseen uncertainties in the future. So entrepreneur has to take calculated risks because he or she faces uncertainty. But however, he or she can minimize the uncertainty by planning to diversify his or her investment. Another thing is the for entrepreneurship functions is the organization building. So organizing and management are the main function of the entrepreneur. It refers to bringing together the various factors of the production to carry out the production activities. So the purpose is to allocate the production resources in order to minimize the losses and to reduce the production cost, because ultimately you have to develop a low cost product to cater the, at least in Indian market or in our country's market. So first thing that I mentioned, that innovations. You have to start being an engineering student. You have to start with a say a particular product. If you're core engineering or in software engineering, because there is no such boundary among the different disciplines, anything you can, any product or any process, you have to think of to solve a particular problem, because our society have a lot of problem, and you can see more problem in the rural area. In rural area, the people, those who are from the developed country, they might not know the our problem, our rural area problem. They might not know. So that is why, if you can see, because our country is mostly in rural ways, if you go to the rural area, you can see a lot of problems they are facing. If you can develop the product or the process which is low cost, affordable, then you can easily do the easily develop the enterprise using your own product. So that is why product innovation is very important. And these are the different steps involved in entrepreneurial process. First is the idea generation. That means lot of design thinking is required to solve a particular problem. You have to ideate, you have to develop the prototype, you have to test the prototype. And as you like to do business and you like to earn certain thing, or you want to do profit, that is why proper business plan is also required. And the steps already Professor Lady mentioned, fundraising, promoting, all these things, all these activities is required in entrepreneurial process. But here I like to focus on the first one, and the first steps for entrepreneurship venture, that is idea generation, design thinking for the product innovation. So product innovation is the creation and the subsequent introduction of a good or services that is either new or an improved version of the previous good or services. So in other way, you can say it is a development of new products or changes in the design of the established product, or use of new materials or components in the manufacture of the established product. So two categories of product innovation. There are two categories of one is the radical innovation, which aims in developing a new product, and in order to do that one, what are the way you have to approach that I will discuss in the later side. Then the incremental innovation, which aim at the improving the existing product. Now, if you see our core industrial sector, so these are the different sectors, like automobile sector, heavy machinery, power generation, textile, shoe, house building, consumer electronics, agricultural, food, consumer product, power generation, jewelry. So there are the different core sectors we have in our country. But most important thing is we have to be innovative enough. We have to develop innovative product, because country needs to development of indigenous product, to cater our country in post-COVID situation. It is more vital to develop our own product. and in order to develop own product, you have to be innovative enough. And you have to think properly, you have to generate idea to solve a particular problem. That means you have to design the product or the process. Now, what is design? So design is the problem solving process. It's not restricted within the engineers. It can, any profession, you can see there is a design problem. So in crude way, you can say design is to formulate a plan to satisfy particular need and to create something with a physical reality. So when you like to design if you like to design your home or you like to decorate inside in your home, so you have to take decision that which particular color you like to use in your wall, what in which particular wall you like to put your wall clock or any showpiece item. So you have to take decision. So that is why any design activity is a decision making process. We engineers are dealing with a different engineering design problem. Civil engineer deals with a different construction of the building, dams, structure, where the electronics and computer engineer dealing with the design of a computer architecture. Electrical engineer deals with the electrical circuitry, electrical devices. Similarly, mechanical engineer deals with the mechanical system design. So it is, and design is also iterative process, and it is an innovative and creative process. So whenever you like to solve any problem, you have to design certain process or the product, and that is the creative process or innovative process. If we take example of mechanical engineering, so objective of the mechanical engineering design is to design and develop a product which may be device, a machinery or mechanical system or a process that is functional, safe, reliable, usable, and the manufacturable and competitive and the marketable. Because when you like to go for entrepreneurship venture, your product, developed product should be competitive and marketable, and that has to be developed by applying various scientific principles and using different engineering tools. So knowing the engineering tools when you are in the student level is very important to develop any product. The tools may be like computer design tool, computer engineering tools. Now when you like to do a new product development, so what are the general procedure follows in the new product design and new product development? First thing, you have to identify what is the needs of that particular product. Whether the product is required by any manufacturer of any other product, that means whether you need to develop any new machineries to develop a particular another product, or it will be required by the common people, customer like us. I like to give you one example where we have worked, though it is relatively long back. So I think all of you know this gentleman, though it is he has retired long back. So he is Bharat Ratna Sachin Tendulkar, and he is in front of a machine. So this machine, many of you have seen that even in this era, that because of the IPL, T20, such type of machine used in the practice session, that is the bowling machine. But I have shown this particular figure, the pictures. It is around the 1995, 96, that particular time. So that this batsman is the font of the greatest batsman in the world in the font of this bowling machine. That means there is a need of such type of bowling machine by this greatest batsman in the world in that time. So what are the need for such type of machine for this batsman like Sachin Tendulkar? So at that particular time, that in his career, in early cricket career of Sachin Tendulkar, so he has to face the world fastest bowler like Brett Lee and Shoaib Akhtar. Their bowling speed is approximately 160 km/h. So he has to face such type of bowling speed. But as you know, in that particular time also, and today also, Indian bowlers bowling speed is hardly 145 km/h. But he is the dedicated batsman. He always tried to practice such type of ball in net session before any ICC tournament. So that time, there is a realization that there is a need of such a bowling machine which can bowl that 160 km per hour, and that has been imported from the England to practice bowling speed of 160 km per hour. So that means there are the need of such type of machine for the batsman. As well as this is very much useful for the bowler, because those who are naturally bowler, they are not getting much time in a practice session to practice batting. So the bowler can practice batting in his home by using this machine, and the bowler becomes all-rounder, because in today's era of IPL and era of T20, you need more all-rounder than the specialized batsman or bowler, because all player has to bat. So that is why such type of machine is today also very important. There is another example I like to show, another popular game, the tennis, where the player like Sania Mirza has to face the Venus Williams. So his surfing speed is so high, she has to practice such type of surfing speed. The machine can deliver such type of thing. There another example I like to tell you, that there are the plenty of cars available in that time. I like to talk about 2006, 2007, but still this gentleman realized there is a need of a low cost car for to cater the common people, and they have taken venture to develop the nano car. So in this way, before going to the any product development kind of entrepreneurship venture, you have to identify what are the needs. Now, if you say that in respect of cricket bowling machine, that is in the say in the year 2003, 4, 5, that time, or even 94, 95, that time bowling machine, there is no such indigenous bowling machine. The bowling machine which is available in the market, or that is imported one, and that cost is relatively high. That means in around that time, at that time it was around 3 lakhs. So you have to collect that information, and you have to do the feasibility study whether you can develop such a product. That means again, you like to develop the bowling machine indigenously or not. So if it has been found its cost is more than 3 lakhs, but it is not affordable by the, even today also it is not affordable by the in any small club, in the different schools and colleges, their sports center. So it's not affordable, this much of 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs machine. So obviously, if you can do the study, you can easily understood, it will technologically feasible to develop the indigenous product, a new product. And problem is to throw the ball, you can innovate in your design also. So after realizing that there is a need for development of indigenous product, low cost product, which should be affordable by the common people, small clubs, school, college. Now you define your problem. So the problem you can define in this way, that we have to design and develop a low cost, portable ball throwing machine. Maybe multi-purpose ball throwing machine. Same machine can throw the tennis ball, cricket ball, hockey ball. So you can frame that way. But if you like to develop the low cost, then let us concentrate on a particular game, say cricket. So this way you can define the design and development of low cost, portable ball throwing machine. Now you have to frame the design specification. Any product, there are the design specification. Even if in a cell phone, computer, there is a specification like your RAM, battery, ampere hour. So same way, if you like to design a new bowling machine, low cost bowling machine, you have to frame the specification. The first and foremost important specification in respect of bowling machine is the bowling speed, the type of ball used, what are the power consumption, what are the accuracy in the line and length control, and how the speed, what are the maximum bowling speed, minimum bowling speed, and how it will increase from the minimum bowling speed, what are the resolution, or increment you want, and also the what type of ball can delivered by the machine. So this way you can frame the design specification. Then you have to do the design conceptualization. That means idea generation. Your objective is to throw the ball. So now there are many ways you can throw the ball. So you can throw the ball by spring action, by compress the spring, put the ball and you can release the spring, it will hit the ball, and this way you can throw. You can use the elastic rubber band to throw that one, or you can use the robotic arm, rotary robotic arm to throw the ball, or you can use those who are mechanical engineering students, they might know that there are the different mechanism like slider kind mechanism, quick return mechanism. Using that, the slider can hit the ball, and that way you can do. Or there are the method like there the two roller concept or single roller with the pressure pad concept. Two roller will rotate with a high speed. In between you put the ball, it is a rubberized roller, and it will grip the ball and it will throw. So this way you have to do the brainstorming, and you have to generate the idea to solve this particular problem, that ball throwing problem. You have to throw the ball, say let us 160 km per hour. So you have to synthesize the mechanism, you have to generate idea, and then you have to do the modeling and simulation. Whatever configuration or whatever mechanism you have think of, you have to do modeling and simulation. Now, obviously, if you like to do modeling simulation, when there is no computer, that time you have to develop the physical model, and over that you have to do experiment based on your hand design, hand calculation and design. Now, today is the era of computers, so that is why computer-aided design tools you have to apply to do this kind of modeling and simulation, where you can do different modeling like kinematics modeling, dynamic modeling. Then you have to do certain engineering analysis like stress analysis and vibration analysis. All you have to do through the different computer tools. Then you have to find out which one is the best one out of the different, because a particular problem you can solve a different mechanism, but which mechanism the best one, that is the design optimization, that you have to do. And then you have to do the design evaluation. And as I mentioned, design is the iterative process. You have to do certain iteration to finalize the detailed mechanism, detailed design of the component. And after that you prepare design documentation, and based on your design documentation it will be fabricated. So here these are the general procedure for the product design. Any kind of product design, this type of activities you have to do. And for that proper thinking is required. Okay? As I mentioned, because first you have to check the technological feasibility, then economical feasibility to develop a new product. Now, in till date, in Indian context, there is a still requirement of development of low-cost bowling machine. Though there are few Indian companies, one or two Indian companies, they develop. And I like to show you our development, though it is the year 2003, 4, and 5 that time. So there is no such indigenous machine, but we have developed one such machine. So I like to show you the product. So this is the bowling machine that we are indigenously developed by our all indigenous machine component. Nothing has been imported. So this is an electromechanical devices that has been placed at around 7 feet height. And again, the concept is the two-wheel concept. Two-wheel is used, and wheels are rubberized. And when two-wheel are rotating in a opposite direction with a high speed, and gap between the two wheel is lesser than the diameter of the cricket ball, when you just put the ball in between the two wheel, the wheel as it is outer surface is the rubber, it will compress and grip the ball, and it will throw the ball in the forward direction. Now there is below there is a indexing mechanism which controls the rotation of the total system about x-axis, about y-axis, and about z-axis. By precise control of this rotation, you can get the different proper line and length of the bowling. And by differential RPM of these two wheel, we got the swing action. So this way you have to think over the product, you have to innovate over that, how we'll get the swing, how we'll get the spin, because till dates there is no such machine which can give the proper spin bowling. So still it is the open research problem through which by solving this you can develop your product. So this is the another views. And this is the machine that the second version also you have developed, and always any product development improvement is always possible. So continuous improvement over the product is must for the product development or innovative product development. So this is the glimpse of that thing. And based on that, we got the first Indian patent and for this particular product. Now, I already mentioned this one, the different activities in the product development cycle. And thing is, each and every activity in the product development, there is a involvement of the man, machine, and material. Ultimate objective is to develop a low-cost product. That means as each activity, there is involvement of the man, machine, and material. That means there is a involvement of the time and cost. That has to be minimized for each and every activity so that your product cost would be product development cost, ultimately product manufacturing cost should be as less as possible. So that is the challenge you have to face for the new product development. So you have to develop your product with the shortest possible time, with the lowest possible cost, and keeping the quality as high as possible to sustain or to successful entry in this entry of the new product into the competitive market. You have to develop your product with the shortest possible time, with the lowest possible cost, and keeping quality as high as possible. And to cope up with this requirement, your productive unit should be most economic, most productive, and the improved quality, because productivity leads to growth, growth leads to profitability, and profitability leads to the survival in the market. And to cope up with this, you have to use as many automation tools as possible. So that is why. So during your college level itself, you have to improve upon your skill. You have to learn the different automation tools, like automation design activity using any engineering discipline. There is a computer design tool, computer engineering tool, automation in manufacturing activities, using the robots, using the computer manufacturing tools, and automation in product management activities. That tools is also important if you like to go for the entrepreneur venture. Being an entrepreneur, you should have a multiple function, not only the technical function. You have to do managerial, you have to do managerial function, you have to do commercial function. That is why automation in product management activity, that knowledge is also essential uh, uh, to for a entrepreneur. Now, the product is also, I just mentioned, it is not within the domain of, let us say, this particular machine is not like the product of mechanical engineering. It's basically, most of the product nowadays is the mechatronics concept. There will be a synergic integration between the different disciplines, like mechanical, electrical, electronics, computer. So, and depending on the problem, it may be integration with the chemical, civil. So, synergic integration is required to develop the products, and that is a concept is now mechatronics. And also you should have to use the modern tools. So these are the certain, those are mechanical, electrical, civil. You might know these are the computer tool, CAD tools for the development of the product. So product initial conceptualization stage, you have to use these particular tools for the visualization of your product, so that you can attract like in a venture capitalist or the for the funding. So your product uh, you have to convey to the those who will support you financially. So that is why such type of tools, application of tools, is very important for any product, innovative product development, and that is now is called virtual prototyping. It is about the presentation, feed, form, and functional testing, and the analysis of the 3D CAD model prior to creating any physical prototype. So it will carried out using the CAD CAM CA tools. Using that, you can visualize your product, you can check its interference and fitting of the different mechanical electrical assembly, testing and verification, the function and performance, manufacturing evaluation, assembly analysis, even as you know the in any product, so it is basically operated by controlled by human. So ergonomics, that human factor analysis, which is known as ergonomics, is very important for any new product development, because you see you have to market your product. Nowadays, you might seen the many product. It has been mentioned. It is ergonomic friendly product. So so ergonomic analysis is very important. Aesthetic analysis is very important for your product development, and that is possible by using the virtual prototyping tool. So being an engineer, so you should have a skill on these particular tools for development of any new and innovative product. So these are the example that I like to show. The cricket bowling machine, very fast machine we have developed like this. It is not aesthetically that beautiful, because we have used the hand drawing and all this thing. After that, we have used the different CAD thing, because I'm talking about in the year 2001, 2, 3 in that time. And after that, it has been improved drastically. So another interesting area I like to mention, it is for innovative product development, this technology is now very much required. That is the 3D printing or additive manufacturing, and that is known as a fourth industrial revolution. And once upon a time, it was a dream for the design and manufacturing technologies to develop such a technology which has a potential of directly converting the CAD data into the real object. That means a technology provide the bridge from the product conceptualization to product realization in a relatively faster manner. That means the rapid creation of the physical model. And that technology is now available in the name of 3D printing or additive manufacturing. So it is a manufacturing process of joining materials to create object from the 3D CAD data, usually depositing the material layer upon layer. It is opposite to your subtractive manufacturing process, that means machining process. So additive manufacturing process is the process of joining material to create an object from directly from the 3D CAD model by depositing the material layer by layer. It is very close to the way the nature manufactured the product. You see the bank of river, that the island kind of thing has been created by depositing the layer of soil years after year. You just see this is the layer. Using that, it is developed. So this is basically a kind of this particular methodology or nature inspired methodology or nature inspired to develop engineering products by depositing material layer by layer. So if you like to know the basic thing of that, if you like to develop such type of sculptured surface, you take a stock of material. By removing the material or by casting process, you can develop. But you can also develop by adding this layer by layer. So each cross-sectional geometry, cut the piece of cardboard. You split your whole model into say few hundreds of layers, and each layer cross section, according to the cross section information, you cut the cardboard, and one after one you just add it layer by layer, you will get the same complex separate object. So this fundamental principle is used in 3D printing. So first you have to develop the CAD model of the object or innovative or complex product you like to manufacture or develop. CAD model you develop, then slice it using software, then according to the slicing or cross-sectional information, add the material layer by layer. So that is why it is called additive manufacturing. We add the material layer by layer, and it is nowadays very popularly known as 3D printing. And this is the difference between the conventional manufacturing you have seen in the lathe, milling machine, drilling machine, where from the stock material has been removed to give the desired shape and size of your object. Whereas in additive manufacturing, you take material, add wherever material you need. So in this case, material wastage is very less. So the general steps involved for the 3D printing or additive manufacturing, first you have to develop the 3D CAD model, then you have to save into a particular file format here, .html format. Support structure sometimes required, you do slicing. So this is called the pre-processing. Then the slice information you fed into the machine. Machine will deposit the material layer by layer, and after completion of that, you need some post-processing operation like cleaning, post-curing, post-work and finishing, and ultimately you will get a object. And truly speaking, this particular modern manufacturing technology is required to develop innovative product in different sectors. And when the product shape is complex, that time you will get the benefit of this type of technology. And it is, if you can compare with the 2D printing and 3D printing, as you know, 2D printing you have to develop the digital model, a digital document like in Word, PowerPoint, whatever may be. Then you have to feed into the printer. Printer will deposit the material by a printing head will move X direction, and paper will move Y direction. It will deposit the material. One layer of ink will deposit. That means XY motion. That is a 2D printer. Whereas in 3D printing, you have to develop 3D CAD model. Then that has to be sliced and fed into the machine. It will deposit the material by same deposition head. By XY movement of the deposition head, it will deposit the material, one layer of material over the platform. Then the platform, build platform, has to lower down a perpendicular to XY plane, that is the Z direction, equal to the one layer thickness, and you deposit the second layer, and this process will continue till topmost layer will come. That is why 3 directional movement, X, Y, and Z movement is required. That is, it is 3D printing, and you will develop the 3D object. So there are the different additive manufacturing process based on the initial state of raw material, liquid based additive manufacturing, solid based, powder based. These are the different methods. This has been classified nowadays by based on different methodology. There are the 7 different methodology used. Very popular on the metal extrusion that I will show you, which is used to the most of the your engineering institute. As you know, in order to develop innovative product, engineering institute should have a innovation lab or the tinkering lab, where such type of facilities, additive manufacturing facilities, a 3D printing facility is must nowadays to develop the innovative product. So certain application I like to show you here of the additive manufacturing or 3D printing. So you will get an idea what you can manufacture by this particular manufacturing process, so that when your product development, you can think of use of this manufacturing process. So you can develop your own tools by this process. Any artwork, complex you can do. You can develop any engineering prototype, any your architectural things, even clothes, furniture. You can create by this manufacturing process. Lot of components. It is also very useful nowadays in jewelry industry and the biomedical sector. The patient-specific cast, shoe industry. Even you can develop your own robot. So possibilities are endless. I like to show you a few more interesting application of this method in respect of the product development, innovative product development. And in order to develop product in a very faster manner, so this type of manufacturing technology is essential. So this is the working gyroscope developed by component, all developed by 3D printing technology. So this is a CNC machine. Here also components of the machine is manufactured by 3D printing. And as you know, so this 3D printing technology, there are no such manual intervention required. It is completely controlled by CAD/CAM tools. So this is an interesting application. The patient-specific task can be printed by this. There will be no itching problem for this type of task. So this type of innovative speaker you can develop by 3D printing. If you like to develop this type of tools is very much required for the product in a new and innovative product development. When you like to develop product for your first time, you like to manufacture one or two pieces. So that time this type of manufacturing technology is very much useful. See the complexity of the geometry of this particular product. It's very difficult to manufacture by the traditional manufacturing process. So this is the 3D printed replica engine of the Toyota. So sports cars, there are the many components are manufactured by the 3D printing technology. So this is the metal jet engines, is 3D printed. So this is application of the 3D printing in architectural and civil engineering to prototype house building, innovative house, aesthetically beautiful house that you can develop by additive manufacturing process. So this is a 6-story building is developed by within 15 days by 3D printing technology. So there are a lot of opportunities is there in the new technology development, new product development, civil engineering by this technology 3D printing, because still 3D printing technology is not matured in respect of the different discipline. So here, a lot of new product development opportunity will be there in this particular area. So I like to show a little bit of this particular method of 3D material extrusion, because another case study I like to show you in respect to the product development where this particular additive manufacturing or 3D printing technology has been used, and moreover this particular additive manufacturing technology or 3D printing technology used by most of the academic institute for their your small engineering product development. So this is basically material extrusion based method and solid additive manufacturing process, and generally the different kinds of polymer like ABS, PLA is used. Elastomer is also used in this particular process in a wire form or filament form. Now I like to show you here the how it will works. You just see this is the build platform. So this is your build platform, over which you see there is this is the input material in a filament form. It is filament diameter is 1.25 millimeter. It is a thermoplastic material, and that will feed through the feeding roller into a extrusion nozzle, and the extrusion nozzle is position control, XY position control, as well as the temperature control, because depending on the melting point of the filament, temperature has to be controlled so that it should not melt. It should be in semi-solid form. Input in the solid form, but due to the heat, it will become semi-solid form, and continuous, because of the continuous back pressure from the wire. So material will come out from the nozzle of 0.4 millimeter diameter. Now, according to the cross-sectional information, the semi-solid material will be extruded and it will deposit over the platform depending on the cross-sectional information. One layer deposition is over, then platform is lowered down equal to one layer thickness, and second layer cross-section will deposit by XY movement of this nozzle head. And the semi-solid material every time extruded from the precise nozzle and deposit over the ultra thin layer on this platform, and the air surrounding the FDM is maintained at temperature below the material melting point temperature, and that is how it quickly solidify, and this process will continue till the topmost layer will come. So this way, by adding material layer by layer, the material, the component is manufactured or developed by 3D printing technology like FDM. Now, I like to show you that the animation of this particular process, then it will be more clear to you. So it's called FDM, Fused Deposition Modeling. So the machine looks like this. It is depositing the material. That you see, this is the XY movement of the nozzle. So for prototype development for a new product, this type of technology is very much useful. So this is the filament roll or filament spool that has to be fed through the roller to the temperature control and position control extruder. So though it has been exaggerated view, it is depositing diameter is 0.4 millimeter and less. So this way it will deposit the material layer by layer, and any complicated shaped object you can manufacture by this process, which may not be possible in some cases by traditional manufacturing process like casting machining. So this methodology we have used. You know that when 2020 March, there are the first wave of the COVID-19. That time there is a huge requirement of the mask. And mask is required for common people as well as the frontline worker like doctors, health staff, police. But as you know that for the doctors, health personnel, health staff, and police, they have to face the COVID patient. I am talking about in April 2020. N95 mask is very much required. But you know that particular time, N95 mask cost is more than 400 rupees. And as you know, as per the medical instruction for the doctors or the frontline worker, the marks will be for you can use only 8 hours. After that, you have to take a new one, because same marks you cannot use those are frontline worker because they deal with the COVID patient. So as you see, if your marks that time is too high, around 400 and above that. So each and every day, if you have to change the marks, and if you see a particular hospital, how many doctors and how many health staff is there, and if they have to change the marks every day of that cost, huge cost is required. Not only the cost but also the resources. Marks, to develop the marks, you need certain filter, that the natural resources have to be wasted. So that is why we thought of, why not develop such a marks for the frontline worker, not for the common people. A marks, there have a certain portion of the structure of the marks which is made of 3D printed component, and the filter part will be in between there, which has to be clipped over the 3D printed structure. And if you do that one, then the cost will drastically reduce. Your structure cost, if you 3D printed. Why 3D printing? Because it will be the your user specific marks, because your facial, it should be airtight, and for that facial impression is very important, because the geometry of your face has been captured by the 3D scanner, and based on that the marks have been developed, designed, and marks, obviously shape will be complicated, little bit complicated. And as you are like to create the user specific marks, the geometry will vary from one user to another user marks geometry. So that is why 3D printing technology is the technology which can manufacture such marks in a more faster way. Any complicated shape can be manufactured. So, and if you see the construction of the mark, you can easily understood. See, this is the marks frame that is made of 3D printed component, and this geometry is based on your facial geometry. And in central portion there is a clamping system where the filter has been placed, and filter is when you clip the filter through this, you can inhale, and this filter cost is approximately 15 paisa to 20 paisa each day. You can change, or even after 2-3 hours you can change the filter. Then it will not increase the other portion you can reuse, because it is a 3D printed component which is made of polymer. By your sanitizing liquid, you can sanitize this one and you can use this one, and only the filter part you can throw after 8 hours of use or something like that. It costs hardly 15 to 20 paisa. So instead of wasting the 400 rupees per day, only few paisas has to be more than enough for this type of marks, 3D printed marks. And also it will basically save the natural resources, because the filter part developed by the natural resources. So this way, we have used the 3D printing technology for this type of product development. Another important requirement till today, it is there, the 3D printed respirator. It is also for the doctors. It is no way. It is related. It is required for the doctors for to tackle the patient having high infection, any kind of infection, not only COVID. So this type of device, indigenous development of this type of device is still required. So there are still opportunities there. So in that particular time, in the first, there are different other component. Ventilation system has been developed by 3D printing technology, because you have to develop in the first manner at the time. So there are many universities, many organizations develop such type of product by using 3D printing technology. The marks I have shown you, that I like to show that this is the 3D printing system in our institute we have used, and within few hours it will take 4 to 5 hours to create a particular marks. So this way, without any mold, any dye, nothing is, no machining is required. Only the user specific CAD model of the marks you develop, and you just fit to the machine. Machine will deposit based on your CAD information within 4-5 hours. So this way, you can develop the product to serve the society at the the critical period like COVID-19. So these are the different. But when we have developed this one, after developing this one, we face one problem because this one is a relatively rigid material. It is PLA, ABS, and though it is profile will match with the users, but when user will move his mouth in order to talk, that time there is a interaction with the edge of the mask and the face, and the spot will coming. So that is why some flexible material flexibility is required to develop the mask. So after that, we change the material and change the product material to the elastomer, and after using this material, we got the flexible mask. So that will help to the user. It will feel more comfortable because of the flexibility. So this is the made of elastomer. Same machine we have used to develop the flexible 3D printed mask. And this they have used this shown, which is developed by this particular machine. And this technology is very much useful for any kind of innovative product development. I have like to show you the any showpiece item, any kind of your free form surface or old model of Godrej. So such type of thing you can easily created by 3D printing technology. The way I have shown here that Rabindranath Tagore has been the model has been developed by 3D printing system. So now I like to discuss third case study that we have solved during the COVID situation. That you might know that during the second wave, though we have started after the first wave, the development of such thing, but it has a lot of impact during the second wave of the COVID-19. That time there is a huge demand of the oxygen, and the oxygen concentrator is an alternative to the alternative source of the medical oxygen to fight against COVID-19 during the second wave. That means this year, April, May, June, that particular time. Now, as you know that that oxygen can be manufactured by different way. Steel plant also manufacture the oxygen, but when there is a huge demand, not only demand to use in your home or use in any rural area, that time portability is the big issue, portability of that. And if you can see that any portable machine can generate the medical grade oxygen where input is the air, that will be the added benefit. So that is why we have tried to develop a low cost oxygen concentrator. We have not innovated any new thing, but we have developed indigenously, which is portable as well as the low cost, and using the technology called the pressure swing absorption. Pressure swing adsorption, that PSA technology has been used to develop this particular device using a chemical which is known as molecular C, popularly known as zeolite. And if you see the oxygen generation methodology, it can be generated by created by cryogenic separation method, pressure swing adsorption, or the membrane technology. When you like to use oxygen plant in your corporate or in your hospital, where the high flow rate like your 100 liter per minute or more than that is required, then you have to use the vacuum pressure swing adsorption technology. But our focus was to cater the individual in the home as well as the rural sector. So that is why we have used the pressure swing adjustment technology with the with your flow rate is 5 liter per minute or 10 liter per minute. So this is the methodology I like to show you because we all are the technical person here. This is the basically method for the vacuum pressure adjustment technology. where your blower is used to compress the ambient air. After compress ambient air will cool down, then it will pass through a container which contains the zeolite, the molecular sieve. And molecular sieve property, as you know, in air there will be a 78% nitrogen and around 21% of the oxygen. The purpose of the zeolite is to absorb the nitrogen and pass the oxygen, and within few seconds this particular chamber zeolite will saturate it with the nitrogen. Now what you have to do, you have to close the inlet valve of this chamber. You have to use the second chamber of zeolite where you pass the air, and during that period the first chamber the nitrogen has to be dissolved by the vacuum pump. So this way you have to swing from flow has to be swing from one chamber zeolite to other chamber, so that you can get the continuous flow of the oxygen enriched air, and that could be used for the different purpose like medical oxygen. Keeping in mind to cater the individuals as well as in the rural area to tackle the COVID-19. We have tried to develop the low-cost indigenous portable oxygen concentrator. This is the technical specification. The purity level is more than 90%. Flow rate is 5 liter per minute, and we have developed this machine based on the PSA technology. And what is PSA technology? You just see any oxygen concentrator inside. If you see, there will be. This is the schematic of the oxygen concentrator. It is basically electromechanical device, and its working principle I already mentioned. PSA, and in ambient air 78% nitrogen and approx 21% is oxygen. Now you have to separate the nitrogen by the zeolite or molecular sieve, and technology used is the PSA. And in this particular method, the ambient air has to be passed to the compressor. The compressor is heated up, and that has to be cooled down by the heat exchanger. Then it will pass through the zeolite chamber. There are the two sets of zeolite chamber will be there that I have shown, and there will be an oxygen tank. Now you see the working principle. So air has been dragged to the compressor through the air filter. It will compress the air, and compress air, you know that it will heat it up. It has to be cooled down, because the performance of the zeolite depends on the temperature of the air. So you have to cool down by the heat exchanger. Then there are the two zeolite chamber, chamber A or chamber B. First, the chamber A inlet valve is open. The air will pass through that, and as you know, molecular sieve construction is such that oxygen molecule is lesser in diameter. It will pass through the sieve, but the nitrogen will adsorb at the surface, and the oxygen enriched air will pass through the product tank. But within a fraction of second, the total this chamber molecular sieve will saturate with the nitrogen. That is why no such nitrogen adsorption is possible after that. And that time you have to close the inlet of this one, and you have to open the second chamber inlet, and that air will pass to the second chamber. This time the nitrogen will be adsorbed in this chamber, and simultaneously the back pressure will be created here to dissolve the nitrogen from the first chamber. So this way, within say 3 to 5 seconds, you have to swing from one chamber to another chamber air flow, and that is why it is called the pressure swing adsorption technology for continuous supply of the enriched oxygen. So this is the working principle of the oxygen concentrator. And based on that methodology, we have developed the first product in the month of February 2021. And as you know that any product, when you like to develop at the academic institute level, and if you like to commercialize, or if you have any plan to do become entrepreneurship, so obviously the industry collaboration is required. So we have industrial collaboration and also the financial support is required. We have some alumni donor to support this particular project. This is the first model of our oxygen concentrator, but after that we found that oxygen purity level is not up to the mark, and we have improved upon that. We have a lot of experimentation, lot of technological challenges that we have to solve, which is uh, totally indigenous. All components are indigenous developed except the zeolite one, and engineering is different from the whatever used in the product developed by the developed country or abroad. So this is the first model, and we have improved upon that, and this is the second model of a product. Second, that is we are calling as a first commercial model. First one is the prototype. This is the second model, which we used as a first commercial model, and I like to show how it's work. So this is the product developed in the name of Pranam. So this is the nasal cannula, and this is the flow meter. This is the humidifier bottle here. Switch on the motor, then you control the flow rate. Whether you need 1 LPA, 1 liter per minute, or 2 liter, or 3 liter, up to 5 liter you can control. You set it, and oxygen in the chair will pass through the humidifier bottle to the nasal cannula to the patient. So this is the flow diagram that I already shown. You see this in our product also. The air intake, compressor will compress, then heat exchanger cool down, then it will pass through the valve, because there are 2 cylinders. There will be a valve to swing from one flow from one cylinder to another cylinder, zeolite cylinder. So that is a valve is required. 5/2 valve is used, and you have to create back pressure for the desorption. So another set of valve is required at the outlet. Then oxygen tank where the oxygen will be stored, and after that we pass to the humidifier bottle to the nozzle. So this is the process flow for the concentrator. So these are the some glimpse of this, the way we have solved engineering. So this first prototype model initially got 85% of purity after after doing a lot of engineering. So any product development starts with this way: the experimental prototype development. So we have achieved that more than 90% purity. So this is the product specification. These are the inside of the product. You can see this is the compressor. There is a heat exchanger here. There is a valve, 5/2 valve. This is the zeolite chamber. And there is, as I mentioned, you have to control the valve, solenoid valve. You need some microcontroller here. So this is the electromechanical device and synergic integration of mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, electronics engineering, even some programming, computer engineering is required to develop such type of product. So, so we have used this product over the different patients. So, instead of that, I like to show you. So, this has been used in the age more than 83. This is the COVID patient. The video in the month of May this year. So this machine is also we have deployed in a different rural area. So I like to share you this one. It is used in one village in Jhargram, Jhargram district. So to serve the COVID patient. So these are the technical details, different components to develop the product. So like to skip this one. And as I mentioned, the heart of the machine is this chemical zeolite, which is popularly known as molecular sieve. Lot of experiment. There are different kind of zeolite is available. So lot of experiment has to be carried out to select the proper grade of zeolite and the proper quantity of the zeolite and the shape of the zeolite container. So, uh, based on the experiment, based on the design, we have developed such a system using the zeolite which is imported from the France. And here I like to conclude in this way that we have also, based on our developed product, we gone to entrepreneurship venture, we have developed the startup company to develop that one. And to become an entrepreneur, you have to take a lot of roles. You just see, you have a entrepreneurial function, promotional function you have to carry out, you have to carry out the managerial function as well as the commercial function. So in respect of the promotional function, so what you have to do, you have to discover an idea, you have to do detailed investigation, assigning the requirement, financing. So these are the different proportional functions you have to carry out being an entrepreneur. So managerial function also to do, you have to do proper planning, you have to do proper organization, organizing, staffing, directing, leadership is very another essential quality is required. Communication, motivation, supervision, coordination, and controlling the process. This kind of function you have to do being an entrepreneur. And commercial function, this also you have to take care to become a successful entrepreneur beside your technical skill. So why entrepreneurship is important? So there are the many advantage in respect of in respect of our country. It will create employment, a lot of innovation, a lot of innovative product can be developed through this. It has impact on the society and community development, increase the standard of living, and support the research and development. And in order to do these are the required characteristics or characteristics required for an entrepreneur. He or she should have ability to take risks, should have a innovative in mind, visionary and leadership quality, should have an open mind, be flexible, and should know better in a product. So I like to conclude in this way that as our Prime Minister that mentioned that our citizen should be, our youngster should be a job creator, not a job seeker. So that respect, those who are engineering, professional engineering diploma or engineering graduate student, they might think of to become a job creators for our country through the innovative product development, through the product innovation in your field. So with this, I like to conclude and thank you everybody for your kind patience. So if anyone have a question, let me know.
Sir, can I speak in English? Oh, sorry, Bengali.
Hi, you can.
স্যার বলছি যে যে কটা আমরা মেশিন দেখলাম সব কটাই তো দেখলাম আমরা এয়ারটা মানে পরিবেশ থেকে নিচ্ছি, তবে পরিবেশের কি অক্সিজেনটা কমে যাবে না?
So as you know that it's the huge sea, and within that you are taking certain amount of your air to create the oxygen, and that oxygen also you like to use for the patient, no? So that is why it's not like that if you can use a small oxygen concentrator, it will reduce the amount of oxygen in the air, because it is that amount of oxygen is required for every day we are taking, no? Oxygen is your oxygen concentrator is basically separating the oxygen from the air to give the patient. So it doesn't mean that it will reduce the oxygen in the air, because the oxygen, we are taking the oxygen from the air only, no? When you take normally you breathe from the air only, so we are taking the oxygen. You are not taking the nitrogen. The same thing here, we like to enrich, because that particular time patient cannot take cannot take proper breathing, but he is not taking more amount of oxygen, because oxygen poisonous in that sense. Oxygen he will take whatever he need, but we just giving the oxygen enrich here, so that if the oxygen enrich, then percentage oxygen whatever is required he can take, and remaining oxygen it take it breathe out, no? So that is why he is not taking more oxygen. So that is why it is not reduce the oxygen amount in the air. Got my point? In normal condition, percentage oxygen taken by the human being, same oxygen patient is also taking, but only thing is his breathing power has been lowered down because of the infection in the lung. We are supplying more oxygen in each year, so that even if you can take small amount, the oxygen percentage is same as in a normal condition. You will take a remaining amount of oxygen is without. It will out from his body. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Any of the students? Any question? কারোর কোনো কোশ্চেন করার আছে? তুই জিজ্ঞেস করতে চাও স্যারকে?
নো স্যার, কোশ্চেন নেই কোনো।
হ্যাঁ স্যার, কোনো কোশ্চেন নেই।
আচ্ছা, ঠিক আছে তাহলে। So we are at the conclusion of our session, of our impact lecture session. We thank you, Dr. Roy, Professor Roy, for his speech and what he have shown, that the development he has done for the society in the COVID period, developing an oxygen plant or oxygen moderator plant, and the development he has done and the patent files. So he has inspired us with the in the path of innovation and what we need to do, being a background of technical or engineering background. So I hope our students are very much motivated, and we will be on the path that sir have shown us, that what we can do for the society and how impactful nature we should go through. And thank you, sir. Thank you again for giving us your time and the lecture. It was very enlightening, sir.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Good night. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Okay, I'm leaving now.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. So we are concluding the session. We are at the end of the session. So I hope the students have learned something new, some new points, some new technologies. Both the teachers, both the professors have shown you the new way of thinking and the new way of entrepreneurship development. So getting some new idea, go and get some new idea. Think about the process, what you can develop, and form your own startup or business ideas and get a good career. So we will conclude the session. Thank you very much for all the participants,
Sir.
for being patient.
Thank you,
Yes.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sir.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sir.
Yes, Ayan.
Thank you, sir.
হ্যাঁ স্যার, বলছি আমি যেটা প্রশ্নটা করতে চাইছিলাম,
হ্যাঁ সুব্রত,
যে আমরা যখন একটা পেশেন্টের কাছে ব্যবহার করছি, তখন আমরা বুঝতে পারছি যে যতটা পেশেন্ট চাইছে ততটা আমরা অক্সিজেনটা দিচ্ছি তাকে, কিন্তু যখন আমরা হিউজ পরিমাণে যে এখন যেগুলো হসপিটালে নতুন তৈরি হচ্ছে অক্সিজেন সিলিন্ডার গুলো, তখন তো আমরা বাতাস মানে পরিবেশ থেকে আমরা অক্সিজেনটাকে পুরোপুরি টেনে নিচ্ছি, তখন মানে সাধারণ মানুষেরও তো তখন সমস্যা হতে পারে।
আমাকে একটা কথা বলো, আমি ছোট্ট
যেটা
তোমায়
আমরা
বলি।
যেটুকু ধরুন হসপিটালের ভেতরে একটা ছোট ইঞ্জিনের মাধ্যমে আমরা ছোট একজন দুজনকে দিচ্ছি, সেটা ঠিক আছে। এবার যখন আমরা হিউজ পরিমাণে কোম্পানিতে ব্যবহারের জন্য এখন যেটা মানে কোভিড সিজনের জন্য যেগুলো তৈরি হচ্ছে, মানে সেটার জন্য তো মানে পরিবেশের প্রভাব পড়তে পারে।
আমি তোমার বলি, ধরো সমুদ্র থেকে যদি তুমি এক বালতি জল বার করে নাও, সমুদ্রের জল কি কমে যাবে?
না, সে তো কমবে না, কারণ না এমনিতেও যেটা দেখা যাচ্ছে এখন
সিস্টেমটাই এখানে
অক্সিজেনের অভাবের জন্যই তো আমাদের এত শ্বাসকষ্ট, এত সমস্যা যেগুলো হচ্ছে।
না না, অক্সিজেনের অভাবে আমাদের শ্বাসকষ্ট হচ্ছে না কিন্তু, ঠিক আছে? আমাদের যে কোভিড এর সময় যে শ্বাসকষ্টটা হচ্ছে, কারণ আমাদের যে লাংস, যেটা স্যার বানিয়েছেন যে জিনিসটা, যে নর্মাল এয়ার থেকে অক্সিজেনটা ফিল্টার করে আউট করে, ঠিক আছে, সেটাকে এক্সট্রাক্ট করে আমাদের পেশেন্টকে দেওয়া, যাতে তার লাংসের যে ক্ষতিটা কোভিড ভাইরাসের জন্য হয়েছে, করোনা ভাইরাসের জন্য, সেই ভাইরাসের মানে সেই লাংসের কন্ডিশনটাকে সাপোর্ট দেওয়ার জন্য, ঠিক আছে? কারণ তার যার পেশেন্ট হয়ে রয়েছে, যার এফেক্ট হয়েছে, যার অক্সিজেন লেভেল কমেছে, তার মানে কি তার লাংসের কন্ডিশনটা খারাপ হয়ে গেছে, সেই জন্য তার অক্সিজেন লেভেল বডিতে কমে যাচ্ছে, মানে কি নর্মাল এয়ারকে তখন অক্সিজেন আর ফিল্টার করতে পারছে না, মানে নর্মাল এয়ার থেকে অক্সিজেনকে আলাদা করতে পারছে না, ঠিক আছে? তো সেই কাজটা ওই মেশিনটা করছে, বুঝেছো? এবার আমরা তো কন্টিনিউয়াস ওরকম কাজ করে যাচ্ছি, আমরা রোজ নিঃশ্বাস নিচ্ছি, তাই বলে কি অক্সিজেন কমে যাচ্ছে এয়ারে? কমছে না, তাই না? কারণ অক্সিজেন যখনই আমরা আবার কার্বন ডাই অক্সাইড ছাড়ছি, সেখানে আবার বিভিন্ন গ্যাসের সঙ্গে সেটা রিঅ্যাক্ট করে কিছুটা পোর্শন তার থেকে অক্সিজেন তৈরি হয়ে যাচ্ছে, কিছুটা পোর্শন আবার কার্বন ডাই অক্সাইড বা অন্য কোনো গ্যাস তৈরি হয়ে যাচ্ছে, বুঝেছো? তো সেইরকম ভাবে রিফিলিং হতে থাকে, সেটা আমাদের এখানে অটোমেটিক্যালি হতে থাকে নেচারে, সেটার জন্য গাছ আছে, বিভিন্ন অক্সিজেন প্লান্টেও অনেক সময় কি হয়, যেটা সেটাকেও রিফাইন করে নেওয়া হয় যাতে এয়ারের ব্যালেন্সটাও ঠিক থাকে, ঠিক আছে, যাতে কার্বন লেভেলটা এয়ারে না বাড়ে। আর কারোর কোনো কিছু কোশ্চেন আছে? 5টা থেকে যারা ছিলে একদম সেশনের এন্ড অবধি?
না স্যার, কোশ্চেন নেই।
আচ্ছা,
ফার্স্ট থেকে স্যার ডক্টর সাহেলি স্যার কন্ট্যাক্ট ইনফরমেশনটা।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ
স্যার ওই স্যার ফার্স্ট যে ছিলেন স্যার সাহেলি ডক্টর,
হ্যাঁ, ডক্টর লাহিড়ী, হ্যাঁ
হ্যাঁ, ওনার স্যার কন্ট্যাক্টটা স্যার, ওটা স্যার ওখানে কোশ্চেন একটা জিজ্ঞাসা করছিলেন লাস্টে স্যার, ওটা অ্যান্সারটা রেডি।
কি বুঝতে পারলাম না
স্যার ওখানে একটা লাস্ট কোশ্চেনটা জিজ্ঞাসা করেছিল না, তাহলে স্যার বলে যে স্যার তুমি আমার সঙ্গে কন্ট্যাক্ট করো।
হুম হুম হুম
আচ্ছা, তাহলে কন্ট্যাক্ট একটু করে দিতেন আর কি।
আমি করিয়ে দেবো কন্ট্যাক্ট, ঠিক আছে? ওনারা একটা বিশাল বড় সেন্ট্রাল গভর্নমেন্ট ইনস্টিটিউটের প্রফেসর, হ্যাঁ, ওনারা সবসময় টাইম পান না, ঠিক আছে?
হ্যাঁ স্যার, ওই জন্য
ওনারা, হ্যাঁ, আমি কন্ট্যাক্ট করিয়ে দেবো, তুমি আমার সঙ্গে কন্ট্যাক্ট করো। তুমি কোন সেমিস্টারে? ফার্স্ট সেমিস্টারে?
আমি ফার্স্ট সেমিস্টার ডিপ্লোমা কম্পিউটার সায়েন্স এন্ড টেকনোলজি।
ঠিক আছে, আমাকে তোমাদের একদিন আমাকে পার্সোনালি ফোন করো, ঠিক আছে?
আপনার কন্ট্যাক্ট নাম্বার তো নেই আমার কাছে।
আমি গ্রুপে আছে, দেখবে আমি গ্রুপে মাঝে মাঝে তোমাদের ভিডিও পোস্ট করি, অনেক কিছু মেসেজ পোস্ট করি।
স্যার আপনি একবার বলে দিন না স্যার, আমি এখানে নোট করে নিচ্ছি।
হোয়াটসঅ্যাপ নাম্বারটা নিয়ে নাও আমার 829666।
এক সেকেন্ড স্যার। হ্যাঁ স্যার বলুন।
829666
829666
22
22
363।
স্যার সরি বাট স্যার আপনার নামটা স্যার জানি এখন।
অভিনন্দন সরকার।
থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার।
আমার সঙ্গে কন্ট্যাক্ট করো, আমি তোমার কোশ্চেনটা অবভিয়াসলি স্যারের কাছে আমি পৌঁছে দেবো, বা আমিও যদি কিছু মাঝখানে সর্ট আউট করতে পারি তোমার কোশ্চেন, নিশ্চয়ই করে দেবো।
হ্যাঁ আচ্ছা স্যার, থ্যাংক ইউ।
হ্যালো স্যার,
হ্যাঁ সুদীপ বলো।
বলছি স্যার এইটা কি ক্লাস হচ্ছে?
এটা কি ক্লাস হচ্ছে? এটা তোমাদের মাইন্ড ডেভেলপ, সাইকোলজিক্যাল ডেভেলপমেন্ট ক্লাস, বুঝেছো? আমাদের যে গতানুগতিক মাইন্ডসেট না, আমরা চাকরি করব, পড়াশোনা করছি, চাকরি করব, তার বাইরেও যে একটা লাইফ আছে, সেইটার ব্যাপারে এই ক্লাসটা, যে তোমাদেরকে সেই আইডিয়া জেনারেশন, আমরা যেটা ইউজ করছি সেটা যে আমরা হতে পারি, ঠিক আছে, আমরা যে প্রোডাক্টটা ইউজ করছি সেটার ম্যানুফ্যাকচারার আমরা হতে পারি, সেইটার ক্লাস এটা,
ওকে স্যার।
বুঝেছো? এটা মাইন্ডসেট
আচ্ছা
ডেভেলপমেন্ট
স্যার, স্যার আপনার কাছে আমার একটা কোশ্চেন ছিল আর কি।
বলো।
স্যার এরকম টাইপের ওয়েবিনার কি আরো হবে স্যার নেক্সট টাইমে?
আমাদের হয়ে আসছে, আমি তোমাকে আমাদের আইআইসির ইউটিউব চ্যানেলটা পাঠিয়ে দেবো, তুমি দেখতে পারো, ওখানে বিভিন্ন প্রফেসরের বিভিন্ন লেকচার দিয়েছে সময় মতো। ঠিক আছে, আরো
আচ্ছা
হবে, আরো
বলতে
হবে,
কি,
সারা বছর এটা হয়, সারা বছর হবে, মাসে হয়তো 2-3টে করে হবে।
ওটা ছিল কোশ্চেন। ঠিক আছে,
হ্যাঁ, বিভিন্ন
কলেজ খুললে
প্রফেসররা
এটা
আসবে,
কলেজ হবে?
বাইরের কলেজের প্রফেসররাই মেনলি আসে, বা ইন্ডাস্ট্রি এক্সপার্টস কিছু আসে, যারা স্টার্ট আপ করেছে, যারা বিজনেস করছে, সেরকমও কিছু মানুষ আসেন। ঠিক আছে, আজকে যিনি এসেছিলেন সেকেন্ড, যিনি বললেন, তিনি ফর্মার ডিন অফ এনআইটি দুর্গাপুর, অ্যান্ড ফার্স্ট যিনি বললেন তিনি হচ্ছে ইনকিউবেশন হেড এই মুহূর্তে এনআইটি দুর্গাপুরের। ঠিক আছে, ন্যাশনাল ইনস্টিটিউট অফ দুর্গাপুরের দুজনেই প্রফেসর। ঠিক আছে, তো এরকমই অনেক কলেজের প্রফেসর বা ইন্ডাস্ট্রি পার্সন প্লাস স্টার্টআপ ফাউন্ডার্স, ঠিক আছে, ওনারা আসেন মাঝে মাঝে আমাদের এরকম টক শো করতে। ঠিক আছে, তো তোমাদেরকে একটা এনলাইটমেন্ট, যেটা আমরা দিতে পারছি না, কারণ আমাদেরও একটা আমাদের সার্কেলটাও খুব ছোট, আমরাও অতটা দিতে পারবো না, যেটা ওনারা জানেন বা বলতে পারবেন তোমাদেরকে, বা সেই ডেভেলপমেন্টটা তোমাদের ভেতরে আনতে হবে, তার জন্যই এটা করা। ঠিক আছে, টেকনোলজি তো নেট থেকে, যেমন স্যার বলছিলেন যে গুগলে সবকিছু অ্যাভেলেবেল, আমি আজকে মেকানিক্যাল হয়ে আমি কম্পিউটার সায়েন্সের 5টা ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ শিখে নিতে পারবো। ঠিক আছে, বাট আইডিয়া জেনারেশন, বাট ক্রিয়েটিং দ্যাট মাইন্ডসেট, দ্যাট সাইকোলজিক্যাল ব্যালেন্স, ঠিক আছে, সেইটা খুব দরকার, সেই অ্যাসপিরেশনটা খুব দরকার আমাদের। না হলে আমরা পারি না করতে। বলো, অয়ন কিছু বলছিলে, আমি আর কিন্তু 2 মিনিট থাকবো, হ্যাঁ, তারপরে আমি এন্ড করতে হবে সেশন। বলো অয়ন, বলো, কিছু একটা বলছিলে স্যার।
এখন কলেজ বন্ধ আছে বলে তো অফলাইন হচ্ছে, কলেজ স্টার্ট হলে কি এটা কলেজে হবে স্যার
হ্যাঁ,
এই সেশনগুলো?
এখন অফলাইন হচ্ছে
এখন
বলে
তো
অনলাইন,
কলেজ অফ আছে
অনলাইন মানে হচ্ছে, কলেজ অফ আছে বলে। আচ্ছা, হ্যাঁ, তখন কলেজেও হবে, অনলাইনেও কিছু সেশন হবে, কারণ ওনারা সবসময় তো কলেজে আসতে পারবেন না, তো আমরা অনলাইনে কিছু ওনাদের কাছে সেশন নেবো, কারণ ওনাদের কাছে টাইম পাওয়াটা বড় একটা ফ্যাক্টর। ঠিক আছে, ওনাদের টাইম পাওয়া, ওনাদের সঙ্গে কন্ট্যাক্ট করা একটা বড় ফ্যাক্টর। তো কলেজে আমরা চেষ্টা করব, নিশ্চয়ই ওনারা যদি সময় হয় ওনারা আসবেন, যদি ওদের সময় না হয় আমরা এরকম ভাবে অনলাইনে কিছু সেশন করে তোমাদের কাছে যাতে নলেজটা পৌঁছে যায় টাইম মতন, সেটা দেখতেই হবে। ঠিক আছে, দ্যাট ইজ দ্য মোস্ট প্রায়োরিটি থিং।
আচ্ছা স্যার, আমাদের কলেজ খোলার সম্ভাবনা কিরকম আছে?
এইগুলো আমি এখন বলতে পারবো না, এগুলো আমার হাতে নেই।
আচ্ছা স্যার।
ঠিক আছে, ঠিক আছে, তাহলে বেস্ট অফ লাক
হ্যাঁ
ফর
স্যার,
দ্য
ঠিক আছে।
ফিউচার। আমরা আবার ক্লাসে দেখা হবে। আমি তোমাদের ইলেকট্রনিক্স পড়াই, ইলেকট্রনিক ওয়ার্কশপ রেগুলার। ঠিক আছে, ফার্স্ট সেমিস্টারদের, তো ক্লাসে আবার দেখা হবে। ঠিক আছে, ওকে, থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ। এখানেই এন্ড করলাম। থ্যাংক ইউ,
থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার, থ্যাংক ইউ।
থ্যাংক ইউ।